Hello, everyone. Hello again.
Hello.
Hello.
And welcome
to another episode of
This is the Circle Podcast.
My name is James. It is your host, Philip.
my name is Daniel.
Like always, I'm here with my best friends.
All right, so today will be a pretty fun episode.
I don't know what I'm saying. Anyways, goodbye.
Goodbye, party people.
See ya.
Got up for nothing? Is that what you think I
Welcome fucking back to another episode of the Circle Podcast. I'm your host, Andrew, for today. Good morning, America. I'm here with my two best friends and hosts, if they want to introduce themselves.
Hello, world. Welcome to another episode. Yeah, that's all I gotta say, I guess. Oh my god, bro. All right, we're gonna have to disinfect all these fucking pop filters after this episode. Playing Russian roulette with that.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Cheers. It's good to see you. I'm glad I'm here with my best friends. Let's do this. I'm fucking excited for this one.
Let's fucking go. Okay. So, as the last episode, we're doing something different in the beginning, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm not exactly sure what we're doing, but you guys have something.
If you don't mind, I'd like to go first because mine's very short.
Okay, go for it.
All right. Last week, James introduced his segment to the show, and one of the segments that I wanted to come up with was finding Quora posts. If you don't know what Quora is, it's a great website. It's been around forever. There's an app for it. People just ask questions on there, and you can follow certain groups or whatever it is, and anyone can answer them. And I think the best or the most upvoted answer is like the top answer for that question, and that's the one you see.
Yeah, I think it's normally the most
Yeah.
popular, right?
So I think I'm gonna call this the Quora Quest as the
Quora Quest?
yeah,
I like that.
for my little segment every week. So I found this one last night, and this was in the Stoicism
Oh, interesting.
little section.
Are there more Trulies left?
Yeah, there's 4 more.
Oh, so you're just gonna drink them
Yeah,
all?
dude, that's cool.
Not offer.
Not like I wanted one. Or
Yeah,
anything.
right. Do you want one?
Yeah, I'll take one. Oh, I'll wait then. Well, just because I'm drinking whiskey, I don't want one of those, huh?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure I've had whiskey and a Truly before. What am I, a fucking lightweight, huh?
Yeah, last time you did that, you threw up on our porch.
Well, I have way more than whiskey.
Just kidding. No, I was.
Didn't we take like 3
Get
shots
fucking
that
flamed.
night?
Dude, I don't even remember. Which night is that? Like,
It was
One
when
of these
Caitlin was
nights.
here.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Crazy
we did take quite a few
All right,
shots.
you motherfuckers, you cut me off.
Sorry.
So the question is, how do I decide what I should do in my life? And this
Ooh,
was
that's a good question.
answered by Tito Apollo on Monday.
Tito Ortiz.
And it's very short. He says, "There's not one way in life. Do not perceive your life as a continuous chain of events. Rather, embrace each moment for its own value. This enables you to not live by the continuum of the passage of time, but by the infinite complexity of your experience as a living entity."
Can you repeat that one more time?
Yeah, hold on.
Let's say that.
All right, the
So
question was...
to digest that whole
Okay.
response.
The question was, how do I decide what I should do in my life? And the answer was, there's no one way in life. Do not perceive your life as a continuous chain of events. Rather, embrace each moment for its own value. This enables you to not to live by the continuum of the passage of time, but by the infinite complexity of your experience as a living entity.
That is a great response. I like that.
It's a beautiful
is.
answer, right?
Yeah. I feel like I relate to that.
Yeah.
Well, just the question. Just because, what I want to do is still up in the air.
Mm.
I think what a lot of people don't understand is that I feel like any like human or your own progression doesn't necessarily have to be like linear.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You could. How do I put this?
It could look like a sawtooth.
Yeah,
Just fucking-
yeah. I mean, you could be high in your in your 20s. You know what I mean? You could be at your not your highest peak, but you could see a lot of progression in your 20s, and then it could easily fall in your
Yeah.
30s, and you could be even higher in your 40s, 50s.
Mhm.
You know, I think what it is about maintaining like that stability too.
Mhm.
You know, as much as you can. You know, things happen in life, obviously. But yeah, I mean, you could think that you want to be a fucking, I don't know, like a fucking bartender in your 20s, and then, you know, like 1 year it could just completely change, and you want to be a fucking, I don't know, like a clown at a party, and you want to fucking make balloon animals. You know?
Yeah, and I think that's what life's about, right? And I think the other problem too is people get too caught up in the highs that they may have had 5, 10, however many years ago, and they feel like they're not experiencing that kind of high anymore of, you know, just savoring life like at that experience. But in reality, they're far more stable than they were 5, 10, 15 years ago, you know, or they're just not struggling as much. But they're still latching on to that idea like, oh, that was like the best time of my life, you know? There's this one free course I found. I think it was from Yale or Harvard or whatever. It was a free course, but it was like it was a course about happiness, right? And one of the things that the the teacher there was trying to push is for, like, I think it was Monday, Wednesday, Friday, take a moment throughout your day, twice a day, to just write down 5 things that you are grateful for, right? And then Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, take 2 moments out of the day to just savor an experience, right? So I put that in my calendar as a reminder to pop up, you know, throughout the day. And so, yeah, whenever it tells me to savor an experience, I just read that message, and then I just look around, you know, and I just appreciate being in that moment, to be alive, you know, in this time, and just be grateful for where I am, you know.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are like subjected to also like this idea that, I mean, in reality, yes, time is running out. Like you don't know if you're gonna live tomorrow, right? You could die tomorrow. But also, I feel like there's this stigma of you having to like go to college or like have your life together by a certain age, like in your 20s, like when you graduate college, and then find a job, and then make a family, and then, you know what I mean, like retire.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like a lot of people feel that pressure of that aspect of life, you know. But it's, I don't know. There was this one class that I took in college. It was like a music class, and this dude, I was just overhearing his conversation, and I had an issue with that too, like that stigma of like, oh man, I need to do something, like, right, like I'm only
like
getting
there's
older.
a time frame
Yeah.
or something.
And I was just over hearing his conversation with someone, and he was like, man, I'm so tired of people being like, man, I'm 23, I'm old, I'm getting older. Like, he's like, dude, shut the fuck up. He's like, you're not even 50 yet, you're not even halfway done with your life.
Mm-hmm.
And like that conversation stuck with me, like, it's been in my mind constantly ever since then. And this was like maybe like 3 years ago. And I don't know, I just go back to that every time that I feel like I'm running out of time, quote unquote. I'm just like, man, you know, I'm you know, like, it's fine the position I'm in, you know.
Yeah.
Like I'm not running out of time.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you guys know who Colin Cowherd is? He's a host of The Herd. It's like a sports show.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
He had an episode a couple days ago, but he was talking about his kids, right? And he said this one quote. He said, you know, with kids, the days are long, but the years fly by fast. And that stuck with me, right? I feel like that's not just with kids. That's with all life, right? We don't take the time to make a day last and truly experience everything around us. but the years just fly by, right? Next
Yeah.
thing we know, we're fucking 25 and we're wondering, you know, what happened in the last 7 years when we were 18 years old? You know, when we were doing whatever the fuck we want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's just why is it like that? Why do we gotta think like that? You know, why do the days have to be so short? You know, or why the years have to just fly by? Why can't we take the time to just sit
Appreciate
back
it
and
all.
appreciate the life we have?
Yeah,
That's-
it's funny that this comes up because I think it was within this last week or two, I was watching a Vsauce episode or video that was pretty much talking about this, about that illusion of life going by faster as we get older. And he brings up a good point about it not necessarily that what determines that is having things that are worth remembering, right? And he was saying that the reason why we don't remember every single like moment is because it's not very efficient. Like it's not energy efficient. It serves no like evolutionary process.
Mhm.
But moments that, you know, stimulate us, get us excited, fearful, or extremely happy, those are going to be moments that are worth remembering and like taking up a bigger spot in our memory. And he was giving, I didn't know he did this, but I guess he did some experiment where he was in like a room, like an all white room for like 3 days. For 3 days
Is it
straight.
the bald dude?
Yeah, yeah.
What the hell?
For 3 days straight. And I don't remember the purpose, but he was bringing that up, and he was saying how in the moment those 3 days felt like the longest period of time in his life. Like it felt like months. But after leaving and like having some time away, he says he doesn't remember like really anything about being in there. Like it was just like it's like a thing he knows he did, but he can't really remember it. Versus other experiences which are much shorter, he could remember way more. And he was saying it had to do with stimulation, you know? And I think that just goes to show that I'm curious if technology has had some type of influence in that, because I mean there's so many studies that show that these screens stimulate our brains, right? They like, what is it? What's the chemical? I don't know why I'm blinking right
Like
now.
dopamine? Or?
Yeah, they have a dopamine response. So I'm sure that us constantly getting this dopamine response is probably throwing that out of whack when we're away from the screen, you know? But yeah, and I definitely like that response with how he was saying, he was saying pretty much, I don't remember exactly anymore what he said, but I like that idea of enjoy the, almost like the infinity of time in the now, right? And I feel like the key to that, especially with doing what you want to do, is just live with the courage to follow what interests you, what makes you curious, what makes you excited. You know, I think a lot of people, you know, they get stuck on this idea of like, you know, we've talked about this before, like work with something that you love and it'll feel like you never work a day in your life. But for a lot of people, that's not always possible, right? You have to pay the bills. You have to feed yourself. That's the reality of it all. But hopefully you get to a point where you only have to work so many hours. You know, I know for some people it's not like that, but let's say you are working the typical job, you're working 8 hours a day, right? Let's say you sleep 8 hours a day. You still have 8 other hours of free time, right? And instead of wasting it on just killing time, whether it's TV or like, you know, I don't know, like going through a YouTube rabbit hole, like do something that really interests you. I mean, if let's say, okay, TV really does interest you, like become an expert at it, you know, like learn something that no one else will really know more about it than you, type of thing. Yeah, that was a good response. So I liked it.
But it's I feel like that's the biggest trend that I see across, like stoicism or being the best that you can be, or like, you know, trying to make it is and the biggest trend that I'm talking about is being grateful for what, you know what I mean, like for the life that you have and things, everyday things that you have, like having parents or like having siblings that love you, or having a significant other, or just like having a roof over your head, or having something to eat every day. And it seems like that'd be obvious, right? Like that's an obvious thing that people should, because they don't really know like the latter. They don't know what it's like to be without this stuff, and it's easy to take this shit for granted. But like I mean recently I've been on like a kind of a trend. It's fun. It is funny that you bring this up, because I've been on a trend of like listening to like motivational like podcasts and things that will just kind of stimulate my mind to just to be a better me, on that sense, in terms of like being successful or whatever. And like I always hear is like be grateful for like what you have, like every day, like you were saying, like write 5 things that you're grateful for, whether it be like having socks or like feeling like the rug on your toes, or like having a cat, being able to feed your cat and all that. And I like I'm one of those people that took all this, still take these things for granted. It's just like I just didn't know, like how I didn't know how grateful I truly was until like listening to all these things tell me that like be grateful. And I think that could take you a long way, because first of all, it makes you humble for everything that you have, because a lot of the world doesn't have this, a house, or what we have, electricity, water, toothbrush, whatever it may be. So yeah, I think that is, I would say so too, that is one of the most important aspects to have in your life, is just to be grateful for what you have.
Definitely.
And also, like, while we bring it up, I actually I was gonna tell other people, or like you guys, because I've told a few people. It's kind of been like a decision I've been thinking about. But I actually put my notice in for my job.
Oh shit! Really?
Wow.
When?
My last day is April 30th.
Oh shit!
Yeah. I realized a lot of things in the past like months, and being unhappy and all that stuff. So I think what had scared me the most was like not knowing what was going to happen, in certain aspects, not in terms of like money and whatever, but just not knowing what direction my life would kind of be, because I've been kind of comfortable, I do make a good amount of money, but it was something that I talked about with my therapist a lot. And what I had realized is that, before I had this job, what I really wanted was like better quality of life, because the quality of life I was living wasn't so great, right? And the fact now that I have my quality of life, but I'm still not happy, says something.
Yeah, it's
right?
It's literally that pyramid of needs, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like shelter, and then it's like fulfillment, and keeps going up until.
So it was just like, man, what's the point of living like my life if I'm not happy, right? And I have everything that I need. So, and first of all, it's just not what I want to do, right? The reason I got it was, like I said, just to make more money and to be, somewhere that I'm comfortable with. So, yeah, my last day is April 30th.
Damn. So what are your thoughts? Like do you have an idea of what direction you want to go after?
Back to Jack in the Box.
Man, I'd kill myself. No offense. But I've already been looking. I've just been searching and seeing. I do have a couple. I mean, I do kind of know 2 directions that really interest me and that make me happy. One of them's health, and the other one is like engineering and like all that. Like working with my hands and stuff. So I do, I will try to walk towards one of those paths. But yeah, I'm just like, I'm kind of in like the limbo, in terms of like, fuck, like, I'm just not gonna, I'm gonna have so much free time also as well to like kind of put everything together and like
Mhm.
make like some sort of plan. So I think what it boils down to is I'm not happy, and I just don't want to spend any more time at somewhere that I'm not happy in.
I feel.
So yeah. Now you guys know.
Damn.
I told my parents and stuff, but
Are you? I know you've mentioned before you're considering the whole like EMT route.
mhm.
Are you
That's-
still thinking of that?
yeah,
Okay.
it's still. I'm not putting all my eggs into one basket.
Hmm.
And I think that's when I originally thought of doing that, I was doing that,
Mhm.
and that's okay, But I just want to have backup plans as well,
Yeah.
just in case
Yeah.
things don't work out. But yeah,
It's kind of exciting, man.
I
How do
know.
you feel putting in your notice?
Dude? It was such a relief. Like the weight on my shoulders was like crazy, and like
Yeah.
I was nervous, and I was like kind of. I don't know, just antsy about it. But like once I was doing it, like because I called my boss and I got off the phone, and I was just like, fuck, dude, like,
I feel.
I felt great. And
Yeah.
like, I mean, I can go on for a while, like talking about this, but, there's just like a couple things. Like after having COVID, like being off for that long and like not missing something,
Is
I
that
was
what
just
put
like,
it in like
and I didn't
perspective?
realize that at the time. I just thought it was like, I just don't want to work, right? I just don't want to go back here and whatever. But like, looking back and when things were in hindsight, I was just like, man, like I was checked out here,
Mm.
like
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
bingo.
That's cool. Yeah, I feel like the other day I was talking with Emily, and I was like counting all the like part-time jobs I had. I've had a lot. I think I had like 8. That was the number. It was 7 or 8. And yeah, that just makes you think. Getting the job, like getting jobs, was always like a cool feeling. Oh yeah, I got hired, right?
Yeah,
But like leaving a job always felt great to me.
Yeah.
And I think it was because it was just like a reminder that I have some control in my life. You
Yeah.
know, I don't have to be fucking stuck anywhere forever. Like
Mhm.
you could always just fucking, what? Like you said, I'm not feeling this, so I'm gonna dip and go somewhere else. Yeah, I don't know. It's funny because I feel like there's a bad stigma with like the older generation.
Mhm.
That's always like, what? No, like you need to stay there for 40 years and then retire. And I'm happy to see that our generation doesn't really have that. Like I don't know, we're not abiding by that norm anymore. Like
Yeah.
I know a lot of people, especially in the tech industry, they'll work for a company 2 years, and then as soon as if they start to feel bored, then they'll be like, what, like I'm not feeling this. I want to work in another like area, try something that I'm more interested in. And people do that. They'll bounce around a few times until they find something that it's like, there isn't another place I'd rather go.
Mhm.
And that's what you got to do,
yeah. When I was talking to my boss, he was pretty. He wasn't upset about it. I think he kind of knew that, it was affecting like my work ethic. It was affecting. I was just starting not to care, dude. Like I was just not caring. And I just don't want to be in an environment like that, where I don't care about anything. And he actually was supportive, and he gave me some pretty good advice. Honestly, he was just saying like, if you don't see yourself with a company after like 2 years, like it's time to go, man. Like like you don't want to waste any more of your time. Obviously, you don't want to waste any more of the company's time. But he was also saying too. He was saying that he's been going through some personal stuff, and that his grandpa actually got diagnosed with cancer, and he didn't know if he was going to make it. But he said to me, what always stuck with him, or the advice that always stuck with him, that his grandpa gave him, is that if you feel stagnant around the people that you're working with, it's time to find like something else. And I was like, man,
Interesting.
I feel that, and it's not like I just don't care about what I'm doing as much as the people that
Oh,
I'm
like are around you?
Yeah. And I just like it doesn't do any like service to me being around that, and it doesn't do any service to like the other people, right? Because I if people care like more than I do, and they're and I'm not doing my job to the best of my ability, then it's obviously gonna affect them. But I was just like, fuck, man, like you know, and I made the right decision. Like, you know,
Mhm.
and I had been going back and forth about it. I was like, should I do it today? I was like, nah. And then a week happened, right? Should I do it today? Nah. You know, maybe I'm just, you know, maybe I'm just depressed today, or like feeling, you know, just trying to
Yeah.
justify it or trying to psych myself out of it.
Yeah.
And then,
Respect to you, man.
yeah.
Because when I quit Yamaha, I just walked in one day and I hadn't even got to like my first break yet.
You're just
And like
"Fuck
in my
this."
mind, I was like, I don't want to be here anymore. Like this place, like I was already in a dark place in my mind already, and like doing the same old, go pick the parts, go package them and ship them out, doing that shit over and over again. Like it was just like, why am I doing this? Like, what am I doing this for? You know, like, is this what I want in my life? Like, why? You
Yeah.
know? And then finally, yeah. And it was a weird point, too, because, like, Yamaha at that point was finding a new, like, temp agency, right? So the guy that had hired me, they were actually about ready to get rid of him, right? So he's already, like, halfway out the door. He's like, fuck this place then, you know?
Yeah.
So I walk in there, and he's just like, what's up? And I just fucking take my badge off, and I just put it on his desk. He's like, are you quitting? I'm like, yeah, I can't do this anymore. And he just fucking gave me a high five. He's like, you know what? I'm proud of you. You know what I mean? If you don't want to be here, that's a big thing to just do. You know what I mean? Come in here and just say, you know, I'm out. And yeah, I wish I would have kept my badge though, because that's the only way you could get out of the parking lot. So I had to call his ass and be like, hey, I
Open
can't
the
get out of the gate.
That's funny as fuck.
Yeah.
He's like, nah, you quit, dude.
Figure it out, dumbass.
You are not my responsibility.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I think that's the thing. It's not to say that every single day you're gonna be like fucking ecstatic with your
Yeah,
job, right?
yeah.
There's gonna be days that you're like, I'm not really feeling it. But I think the thing is, you shouldn't wake up every morning dreading going to your job.
Yeah.
Um,
I know,
and I feel like there's people you could see that. That's
Yeah.
like they fucking hate what they do. It's like,
Yeah.
man, there's options. Like,
I hate when there's sometimes negative Nancy's at work, and I'm like, oh, good morning. And they're like, is it? Like, damn, bro.
and I was becoming that person, and it was affecting like my like just my personal life, dude. It was like affecting like conversations with like you guys, or like I just, you know, I didn't want to talk as much, or you know, I don't know if you guys could sense that, because I don't make it really known that I'm, you know what I mean, sad or depressed, but it was just affecting all that, and I was like, dude, like,
I feel like you've been very honest about your feelings for this job since like the beginning of this show.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
yeah.
and
It always seemed
I mean, this
like,
isn't new that you wanted something more.
Yeah.
yeah,
you know?
yeah.
like it always seemed like you were already like
Looking
out,
to the next
out,
thing.
yeah, out the door with it.
Yeah, it's been a while, you know, but I think I was able to just kind of mask that a little better. It just wasn't affecting me as much as like now, you know, because now I'm just like completely done with it, like go away. but yeah. So I was getting to that point, so I was just like, man, like,
I would say your timing could be pretty good, because it seems like with the vaccine rolling out, numbers have been good. This month, I think like next week, it should be open to everybody, right? All adults. So I would assume that with things opening up again, there's gonna be a lot more opportunities.
yeah,
You know, like if you would have done this at the beginning of quarantine,
oh fuck,
then
yeah.
like I would have been like, man, good luck, bro.
No,
Better
I
hope they pass that stimulus.
I knew. I mean, I know now, and how I've had a stable job through the pandemic. I know how grateful, you know, it was
Like
to have
lucky,
a job. And
yeah.
stuff. You know, I still feel that. I still feel, you know, I'm grateful that they didn't close, and that they still, you know, employed me and gave me an income, because that's the reason like I'm here today. But you know, like I just can't. And I felt that guilt. I was like, man, there's people out here that need a job. You know what I mean? Like, why am I feeling like this? I shouldn't, you know? And I felt that, like, I don't know, like a fucking survivor's guilt or something, you know? Like that I had this, and
But you weren't
other
happy
people.
with
Yeah.
it. I feel.
And I think that kind of like played into my decision of like not leaving sooner. but I just I can't think like that because
Yeah.
like it's making me unhappy. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
that's what matters.
There's always going to be variables in life.
yeah,
Yeah.
Right? And you thinking like that is a variable.
yeah.
But at the end of the day, yeah, there's a pandemic going on, one that, we've never, or anyone has ever really experienced before. But at the end of the day, if there wasn't a pandemic, someone's always struggling. Someone's
Yeah,
always,
there's always something going on.
yeah, there's always someone that is getting it unfair. So if we're going to think in the way like, oh, there's people that don't have a job, well, there's always people that don't have jobs.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But fuck, at the end of the day, it's what matters to you. What is your happiness important to you? And I'm glad that you decided that finally, like, it's time for you to leave.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I always thought there was a problem with me being too empathetic. And I realized it wasn't that. It was just there's not a problem with being too empathetic. It's just weighing which one weighs more, right? My happiness or being too empathetic. And I had to like
Yeah, to prioritize.
I had to prioritize that. So
Yeah.
I just prioritized, my happiness. So
yeah.
but yeah, anyways. We could go on to
That's cool, man.
the next segment. Thanks.
So yeah, we can start by segment. Welcome to Tech News with James. I was waiting to roll that baby out.
Damn it, I need a fucking song now. This motherfucker. Man, I've been asking you guys to make a fucking intro song for fucking
Dude,
forever.
okay.
You make a segment and you already have a fucking song within 2 weeks?
That too, I've been like thinking. I've been getting ideas for that too. This whole week, I've been like
You
listening
son of a
to
bitch.
little. I've been listening to little.
This show's been going for like, what, a year and a half now?
To be fair, hopefully we don't get copyrighted because I didn't make this. I'm not gonna say what it's from. I'm not gonna make it easier to get struck
man.
down.
Oh,
I forgot about that.
You're fucking hilarious, dude.
Shit.
I love that you did that. Oh, man.
So for those who weren't around last week, we were talking about doing segments, and I want to try to be a source of information when it comes to tech or science news that are happening week to week. So I'll make it short, or like they're short this week. I don't have anything that crazy. First one, I don't know if you guys maybe see the article that was circulating around about the headline going around was Facebook not notifying 500 million users of data leak. Have you guys heard about that going?
500 million?
Yeah,
no,
half a
I
billion.
did not hear
half a
about
billion.
that.
No, I didn't.
Okay,
Wait,
so
how many users do they have?
dude, Facebook they have over, I want to say like almost 3 billion users on all their IPs. So like that's like Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp.
okay.
You know what I mean? Facebook
God.
itself, I'm not sure, but they have a
Damn.
lot of users.
Damn.
500 million's like.
It's 2.8 billion. So yeah, almost 3
That's
billion
more than
users.
the United States.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Wait, do you know where the leak, like where it was? Was it on Facebook or was it on Instagram? Or
I think it was Facebook.
Oh, okay.
It was on their actual Facebook platform. So what it was.
I'm deleting my Facebook.
So this is the thing, though. This is why headlines can be a little misleading. So this data, it was actually like this leak happened in September of 2019. And
what the fuck?
I know this is old. That's why I was like, I'm like, oh, what the fuck? And then I read it. I'm like, oh, why is this like circulating so much? I don't know if maybe the media just got a hold of it. They just found out. Anyways, this happened in September of 2019, and what had happened was the data was leaked by web scraping profiles, and it was using a vulnerability in the platform's tool for syncing contacts. And the data was like profile names, Facebook ID numbers, email addresses, and phone numbers. Facebook fixed the issue after it was identified in August of 2019. So a month later, right? Or is that backwards? That doesn't make sense.
I don't know. I'm not good at my months.
Wait, did you say August the first time?
Yeah. No. It was the data was obtained September 2019. What article? That's weird. Okay, let's say it was the month after, so then it might have been November or October. Jesus Christ. It's fucking months. In October of 2019. I don't know why I wrote August.
I think your girlfriend's running away.
Okay, bye. So their stance is because it's not sensitive info like usernames, passwords, health data, stuff like that. That's why they're not notifying users.
Oh, she came back.
And their other response, she's getting food.
Wait, phone number's not sensitive data?
Hold that
Okay.
thought. And the other reason why they said that they are not going to notify users is because they don't really know whose information got leaked, which make your conclusions as you want. They don't really know. They don't really have a method of saying of being able to notify people like, hey.
So they just have
your
a number
information got leaked.
of how
they
many
just have
people.
a number. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Now, for those who have listened, was that our last episode? The episode before? The ponification one.
With Antonio.
Yeah. So, I mean, email and phone number, that could definitely be sensitive. There's definitely ways that could be vulnerable for you. But it's nothing to, freak out about.
See, now is this a point where we should have the government step in and clarify what is sensitive information?
That is a good question. I mean, maybe, yeah, to have some type of...
Because if we have these third-party major companies dictate what is sensitive information,
the only
because
reason...
on Twitter it might be different, right? Maybe that is sensitive information for them, right?
Yeah,
and for Facebook,
no,
and
that
like,
is
no.
That is a good point, and I think I think for some, we should have some type of classification for that, and the reason, especially why, is because there are some platforms where to log in, you just need your phone number.
It's username, email, or phone number.
Yeah, and
Facebook
which
is one of them.
Which is pretty, but even then, at least with Facebook, you still have a password to the account, right? Whereas, for instance, 24-Hour Fitness, when I was trying to cancel my account, all I needed was my phone number. I didn't need a password. I didn't need anything like that.
I did what you said, and dude, I was like,
it was super easy, right?
that's it?
Yeah, it was super easy. But that's an example, and there are other platforms that are like that. They do not have any authentication.
Facebook is extremely easy too. I don't know what it is, but you can sign out of Facebook and then go on your phone, download Facebook, and it still has your shit saved, even if I don't know how they do it, but it's not even on your phone.
Yeah, I think again, I mean, I feel like I understand their stance. I feel like they should still make some type of announcement about it. It shouldn't just be responses to the media. But yeah, I think it is. That is something that should be fair game for the government. They need to make some type of definition. What is considered sensitive information? I mean, this is the thing with phone numbers. I'm sure our phone numbers are online somewhere, whether it's through this leak or not. Because you could find data. That's literally how the scams work for those phone scams. They literally just get pages and pages of phone numbers. And then they just automate it to call whoever.
I've been watching so many of those fucking videos.
The scam videos?
Yeah, dude. And the fucked up part is, too, is if they get you, they just trade it around to other scam companies, too, and they just keep going back and
trading
forth.
your information.
That's the thing. I feel like these companies are trying to define what's sensitive information or not.
But
I
it's
feel
different,
right? But I feel like if
From
you
company
if
to
you put a
company.
poll up and just said, "Do you think your phone number is sensitive information?" on Facebook, I'm sure fucking yes would be 99%.
See, my dumbass, back in high school, my phone number was on my Facebook.
Oh,
and
where you could access it?
Yeah, and a person at our high school just decided to text me, and I was like, "Who the fuck are you?" And for 2 weeks, I did not know who this person was. You know what I mean? And I had no idea how they got my number. I was confused, and then I realized, well, once I figured out who it was, and they told me why they got it, and then they told me how they got it. I was like, "What the fuck?" I took that shit off as soon as I could.
That's the thing. We are still trying to understand the ramifications of the internet, right? And I'm sure, at this time, it's oh yeah, of course you want your friends to see your phone number, right? If they ever need to call you. And this was still in the day where if you would normally friend people who you knew, right?
Yeah.
But now we're in this weird world where cyberspace or like the internet is like a whole other realm of existence, right?
Mhm.
And you're going to be contacting people online that you wouldn't want to contact in real life. So yeah, I think eventually it's going to happen. There's going to have to be some type of policies made about this stuff, especially when it comes to like user privacy. But yeah, so that was what was leaked. If you're freaking out about it, you know, I don't know what to tell you.
Why,
it happened.
Why does it got to be Facebook, man?
It's always.
I think it's just probability, man. They have the most users.
Yeah,
right?
too.
They're going to be the biggest target, or they're going to...
Do they know who
I'm not sure. All the articles I read, it didn't say like if they caught who did it or
dude,
if they know who is behind it.
do you think Facebook's like keeping it under wraps? Like it was worse than what they're saying?
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure they wouldn't be like, "Oh, it was actually worse than what you guys know."
They only got phone numbers.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
no
wouldn't be
big deal. Everyone's
surprised.
social security just got leaked on the internet and sold, but it's okay.
That is interesting too. That it happens after the election, where Facebook was, exploited for advertising for the 2016 election, right?
Yeah. Yeah, this was a few years later. This was in
Yeah.
2019.
Yeah, it was a few years later, but it's just interesting that it just happens then. But it's like it was a tool, for the election, and then
Mhm.
arguably
Yeah.
it was used against Hillary Clinton.
Yeah. The other little news I want to share. So I came across this article, and the headline is, and this is from, I don't remember where I got the Facebook article from, but this is from Berkeley News. So it is some type of subdomain of UC Berkeley. And the headline is, FDA approves first test of CRISPR to correct genetic defect causing sickle cell disease. So I don't know if you guys remember a couple years ago, there was this big breakthrough in science of gene editing, and it was using a method called CRISPR. More specifically, it was CRISPR-Cas9. And what it is,
I think
Let me
you
read you a little-
brought it up when we were still doing
Did I?
episodes in the trailer.
in the trailer,
Yeah,
I might have, because I know that I've read into this before. So when I saw this headline, I was like, "What the fuck? They're gonna do it?" So, so CRISPR-9. Here's a quick explanation of what it is. It is a unique technology that enables geneticists and medical researchers to edit parts of the genome by removing, adding, or altering sections of the DNA sequence. And it is currently the simplest, most versatile, and precise method of genetic manipulation, and is therefore causing a buzz in the science world. So what is cool about it, real quick, so it was pioneered by two women, actually. Their name is Jennifer Doudna and Emmanuelle Charpentier. Sorry if I butchered those names. And they actually both of them won the 2020 Nobel Prize in Chemistry for this. So what it is, CRISPR, it's using this, it's an enzyme, and that's what Cas9 is. And it's funny because it's actually part of the immune response of a bacteria. So bacteria, they figured out that bacteria have this immune response where if they detect a mutation in their own DNA, they're able to isolate that genome and slice it out and fix it. So they're going to start human trials for sickle cell anemia. And for people who don't know what that is, it's when your blood cells are shaped like a crescent moon, and that causes a whole lot of weird complications with blood flow. And what's weird though is that I'm curious what type of effects this could have. So the biggest population that have this disease is actually in Central Africa. And what's interesting though is that disease actually prevents I want to say malaria or something like that.
I think so. I remember.
I think it's
yeah.
malaria. Let me double check that.
I forgot what I watched, but I remember watching a documentary episode on this.
Yeah, so it is malaria. So people with sickle cell actually have a resistance to malaria, and that's like a real life example that we could see of like mutation for evolutionary purposes, right? Where this gene continued because of that advantage that it provided. So it's curious to see if we were to counteract that, what type of effect could we see with malaria? Like, would we see an increase?
A give and take kind of thing.
Yeah, would we see an increase in malaria cases?
I think malaria is like one of the number one
killers
right?
in Africa. What's another interesting thing to see about this though is that like this is going to be one of the first cases where we are going to be actively doing gene editing on human cases. And it's funny, I saw a video of it was Jennifer Doudna, and she was kind of explaining what CRISPR was.
Who the fuck is that?
She's a chemist. She's a professor, I think somewhere in California, some university.
And
she's a professor.
That's her real name, Jennifer Doudna.
Yeah, so it's Doudna. I might be pronouncing it might be Doudna. I'm not sure.
Okay, so you're just
Let's say
butchering all
Doudna.
kinds of names.
Yeah, bro. I don't know how
She's
to
got
pronounce this
DNA in
shit.
her name, dude.
She does, man.
for
That's
this.
fucking fate. But she was talking about the ramifications of it, and it's funny because in this video, she was saying that she had a nightmare that she met Hitler, and Hitler was like trying to press for like how to use CRISPR to select like wanted genes, right?
Yeah.
Because obviously he wanted the fucking Aryan race, whatever.
Jesus Christ, what a dark dream.
Right? So she was so she's it's cool to see this. She has a lot of ethical concern with this research that she pioneered or she took part in. But I don't know. I'm super curious to see what this leads to, especially I've been like reading here and there and watching stuff about the science of like aging and how a lot of these like think tanks or like scientists are trying to pinpoint aging to a certain genome and to see if there's potentially like a quote unquote cure for aging. And if there is, this would be the method of doing that with this type of gene editing. So yeah, just thought that was interesting, pretty crazy.
I have two questions for you guys. With gene editing, do you guys think this is man playing God? And then the second question is, what scares you most? The idea of AI becoming evil, or the idea of gene editing become I don't know, like a corporate marketized, type deal?
Oh.
You want? Can I answer first?
Yeah,
Because
go
I
ahead.
was already thinking about these things.
Okay, perfect. Because that's the first thing I heard when I heard gene editing. Like, I don't know why. To me, personally, the idea of gene editing scares me more than AI.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. The only thing that really scares me about it is we don't know the repercussions. Oh, to
Yeah.
answer your first question, I think it's fair game. I don't think that it's like people playing God.
It's just natural for us to learn these things. And
That's just scientific
eventually
advancement.
evolution.
Yeah, like I don't see. Don't get me wrong. There's always going to be ethical concerns with anything, especially when it comes to stuff like that. And it's relieving to see that the people who are behind it are making sure that they have those questions.
Yeah.
And they're bringing those,
Yeah. But
those issues up.
my fear comes from, it's not always the people that are doing the research and putting in the time to figure these things out are
Right,
the ones
it's the
that end up
corporations.
making the decisions at the end. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the scary part.
But
is the people
that's something that she brought up too, is that another ethical question that she brought up is access. That this shouldn't be something that only the rich have access to. But the other thing too, which is kind of funny, is she said this should be something that we only use as a last option. So like for any of those diseases where it's like there's nothing else we could do, then look into gene editing.
Oh, okay.
And I think, so going back to my fear, I think my only fear is we don't know the repercussions of stuff like that. Because so what's weird is that there's two types of like cells or like cell processes, and one type is kind of like contained within your own body. It'll still affect you, but you won't pass it down to your children. And there's another type that you will pass it down from generation to generation. So I definitely, and she's bringing that up because she was saying, well, it wasn't even her, but the other cell process, it's illegal to experiment on that. So you cannot do any type of experiments that will have like generational repercussions. And that would be my biggest fear. Because what if we do something like that and like, let's say it works, right? And like we are like living longer, we're healthier, more resistant to diseases. But like, what if that has some weird effect where, 3 generations down, you're infertile, and then right there the human race just ends. Like we
Yeah.
accidentally make the human race incapable of reproducing, you know? Or like, have you seen that episode of Family Guy where Stewie makes clones?
Yeah.
And he makes a clone that's kind of like, it's like a bit dumber than him. And then Brian wants a clone, so then he just has his clone do it, and that one's even worse. Like, my worry is something like that. Like, what if it just fucks it up where as we continue down in the generations, it just gets worse and worse, and then we end up with some weird fucking humanoid mutants, And I don't mean mutants like X-Men mutants. I mean like fucking Rick and Morty where they like fucked up their reality and everybody's like monsters.
Kind of like sloths from fucking the
Yeah.
We don't want a bunch of those running around.
Baby Ruth.
Guys. Do I think that is playing God? I would say no. I feel like it's a big statement, and I feel like I wouldn't believe that.
Man, I got a pee too.
I wouldn't believe that so much because I don't necessarily believe in a God.
That was going to be my first response. Like, well, I don't believe in God, so.
Yeah, it's just going to be like, you know what I mean? Like, no, that's not playing God. It's just like, that's just.
But I guess the question is, are we messing with nature too much?
I don't. It's a big question. I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say
That's what I would think too.
That's just like like scientific advancement, and like to bring God into that is gonna stifle that
It's going to
progression,
slow it, yeah.
right?
Well, I think too, like we ourselves are a product of nature. So in my mind, anything that we do is just an extension of that.
Yeah.
Right? Like you look at beavers who create dams, you don't question like, oh, are they playing God? Are they, fucking with nature too much? It's like, no, that's actually in their nature to do that. I would argue it's the same with us. It's in our nature to change the things around us, to make the universe around us malleable.
That's the thing. I feel like there's this determinism with nature. Like it's always like people think that it's like, no, nature needs to do what it needs to do only, right? Like fucking
Like it's a
with
certain it's a path.
like with the finches and fucking Charles Darwin, right? Like they developed all these different types of beaks,
yeah.
and I feel like a lot of people think that like
They think it's like conscious.
it's only that it should be that only what nature needs to do. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I don't feel like it should be that. I feel like it should be, it's not bad or good to edit genes, right? It's just people make that bad, right? And
Yeah.
it could be the fucking, this could be like the scientific breakthrough of the fucking century, fucking millennia.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If this turns out to be
The method,
what it is.
Yeah. And no, that's a good point. I think a lot of people misconstrue what evolution is when it
Yeah.
comes to nature. They think that nature is striving for something, but it's not. It's literally just, are you adapt enough to survive? That's what nature is.
That's the thing. And what if this is it?
Yeah,
what if
that's
this is
part of that process.
our choice of like we need to survive? So like
Well, that's the thing. This could be a huge breakthrough in cancer treatment.
that too, because
Yeah.
that boils down to genes.
Exactly. And a lot of people, that's the thing. A lot of people, I always see this on social media of like, oh, we developed a vaccine for COVID for sure there's like a vaccine for cancer, but they don't want to give it to us. So, well, cancer isn't a virus.
Yeah.
Like it's genetic mutation. It's a genetic disease. So it's gonna take something that attacks that issue genetically in order for us to solve it. And this might be the method to at least like facilitate that process, right?
Mm-hmm. Or to get that, get that process rolling.
Mm.
Man, this is
Exciting
big.
time.
Yeah, this is big.
I don't want to live forever.
I
But I would love, huh?
I do.
You want to live forever?
Yeah. Not forever, but
Dude,
200, 300 years.
Dude, that's like I want
years.
300 years at
God damn.
least.
Yeah.
At least, man. And I'm not going to lie, this gets me a little excited. Like, oh, man, maybe we're getting closer to that.
Dude, we are.
I hope you guys visit me every year after I die after 72. Okay. If I live to 72, I'm happy. You know, everything after that, that's just spare change.
Bro,
you
let me
know
put it
what
this way. After
Spare
year
change.
after year 150, I think I'll outlive your tombstone, man. I won't be able to find it anymore.
I mean? Well, you better collect my ashes, bro.
All right, there we go. There we go.
I'm going to be fucking 273. Like, Phil, I should have died at 80.
I should be right here with you, bro.
I'm in pain constantly.
These last 150 years have been terrible.
The fucking show's still going.
Bro, we all just look like that fucking lady from SpongeBob who wants chocolate. We're just like a fucking, just a spine, nothing else.
the spine in a wheelchair.
The whole podcast is just us saying what to each other.
What? What did
can't
you
hear
say?
you.
Speak up.
Man, we need Philip. He took all the levels.
Oh, shit.
Oh, man.
Shit.
So I-
We're fucking an hour in and we haven't even started the main topic.
We just do the fucking segments. Yeah, we're going to have to like learn how to be quick with these.
I like it though. This is a great.
So
yeah.
I was just thinking about that at the time. So I think it works out because the topic that was originally planned for this episode, I think it would be good to only lay down like the framework of what we're going to talk about.
This is going to be the first part of a multi-part episode, right?
So I would like just to talk about two things. But before I get into that, I was going to do this at the end, but I think I'll do it now. I think it fits in. So this isn't my permanent segment. This is just, well, potentially it could be. Who knows? But it fits in and it ties into what the subject is going to be about today. So
Let's fucking do it.
it's just a little game that I thought of. I actually kind of dreamt about this. And I was like, oh man, that'd be such a good idea.
Oh, shit.
And then I woke up and I just immediately wrote it down. But this is just like kind of a guessing game. So I gathered, it's going to be 3 rounds. And each round I gathered one true website that exists
Okay.
and the other 2 don't.
Okay.
And then you guys have to guess it.
So you just comb the internet for real websites or what?
No, Reddit was a big help.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's a subreddit actually called The Internet is Beautiful.
This guy's like a daily redditor. I don't know if
it's
this
called-
is fair.
What
I think-
subreddit is this?
I think it's called Internet is Beautiful or The Internet is Beautiful.
I've heard.
I
of
feel
that
like I've
subreddit.
seen it, but I've
Yeah.
never really done a deep dive in it.
But it's just it's just a bunch of people who've created websites for like
Oh.
random
Random
things.
shit?
Yeah,
Cool.
It's great.
Like Emily.com.
Yeah,
Dude.
like shit like that.
If you want the answer to life, visit Emily.com. You will get the answer to life.
You will.
I agree. But
I'm glad you showed us that.
You're
yeah,
welcome.
That was funny.
That was the first flame in AI in computers that are self-aware.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right.
But yeah, it's a really cool subreddit. It's called Internet is Beautiful or The Internet is Beautiful. But it's just
I can double check that.
it's just like a genre of people who've made websites for just everyday fucking random things.
I just want to point and laugh at all the people that just got debated by Emily.com. Losers.
I think it's just internet.
Just
is
Internet is
beautiful.
Beautiful. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's 3 rounds. Okay. I'm just gonna. Well, I'll just say them.
Okay.
So this is the first round. and it's gonna be what's real or no, what's real. What do you think is real?
So
Out of
we're
these?
trying to guess what we think
Okay.
is real.
And
Okay.
You each get one guess. Okay.
Okay.
A website that gives you positive affirmations to make your bed in the morning.
To make your bed in the morning?
Uh,
Okay.
a website that shows the trajectory of a baby when placed into a medieval catapult.
Okay.
Or a website that shows what havoc a specific type of nuclear bomb would do according to your specific location.
I totally thought that you were gonna give us like domain names.
Yeah,
I didn't
I
know it
thought
was
so
gonna be
too.
like purposes.
No,
Okay.
yeah.
Dude, all these sound like something some dumbass would take the time to make.
I feel like that last one. I feel like I've heard of something like that, like the nuclear.
What
like-
was it? Say it again. Because I feel like I've heard this too.
A website that shows what havoc a specific type of nuclear bomb would do according to your specific location.
I feel like I've heard of something like that. That first one sounds very plausible, though. The
Yeah,
affirmations to make
yeah.
your bed every day.
But then again, the second one, maybe you just want to know.
Someone, yeah, definitely very plausible.
Dude.
I would want to know that.
I would also want to. I would hope that they have like a little simulation where it's just like showing the catapult. Fucking- I would have to put my money on the last one, the nuclear mayhem.
Fuck.
I would put my money on that.
I just don't want to go the same answer as him. I'm going with the first one.
A website that gives you positive affirmations to make your bed in the morning.
Yeah, I don't know why anyone go to a website to do that, but yeah.
Man, you'd be surprised. But that's not the right one.
Which is the
nuclear
last
bomb
one?
is-
Okay.
So it is called outrider.org.
Outrider.
Outrider.
Rider with like an R, like you ride
R,
something.
yeah, RIDER.
.org.
And this gives you
Check these
this
out.
gives you like historical information about nuclear bombs, when they were used, whatever. It tells you how to disarm a nuclear bomb.
Fuck.
What?
Yeah.
That's
I don't know
weird.
if that's true. But it also it kind of uses the what's your location technology. So it just shows you a map of where you are, and you get to pick which bomb historically throughout time. Like you get to choose the big boy, or you get to choose the most deadly nuclear bomb that was ever detonated in Russia, and it shows you the blast radius and what would be affected.
Dude, this reminds me of like
This is-
Fallout 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With-
This is
with,
this
what
is
was-
a pretty nice website.
What was the name of the fucking little town that had the nuke in the middle of
Is it
it?
called Nuketown? Oh no, that's fucking.
That's Call of Duty.
It's Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Was it Fallout Town or something like that?
I don't remember.
Yeah, it's called something like that. Yeah. But yeah, you see.
could fucking decide to like arm
Uh,
that bitch.
So I don't know what. Oh yeah, and then I think the radiation shockwave.
Yeah, that's the radiation.
And then the fireball or like the crater. So if you,
wow.
I'm just explaining because he's on the website right now. I'm just explaining. You get to choose different. So where is it?
How fucked would we be?
Oh, different bombs.
Yeah, right there. So go up.
I think we would.
Be dead?
Is this saying this would kill you? The heat alone would kill you within this area?
Probably. I mean, if you're outside.
It's not because it's not saying like how hot.
Oh, there it goes.
Oh, would have severe or fatal third-degree burns.
So it shows you the fireball that would happen. It shows you the heat, how the extent in which the heat would go. It shows you the shockwave.
Dude, that's pretty. That's a pretty fucking big
So,
area.
dude,
I didn't think it'd be that big.
Look, go to bomb, and go to all the way to the right. Yep.
50,000.
The largest
Oh,
US
the
SAR
SAR bomb. SAR bomb.
And look at that.
Dude,
Yeah,
that's
that would-
fucking
That
terrifying.
would decimate Southern California.
That's terrifying.
This is why we got to move to the Midwest.
Nearly 2 million fatalities.
Nah, I feel like it'd be higher.
I feel like it would be higher as well, but
Yeah.
that's still pretty fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, just look at. Okay, the radiation isn't that big, but even the shockwave is fucking massive.
Yeah.
Holy shit. That's pretty fucking scary.
But yeah. So if you want to find out if you're safe in a nuclear holocaust, outrider.org. And if you want to find out where you should move to, outrider.org. But yeah, you get to choose which bomb. Like you. So there's been different, obviously different amounts of nukes and different types of nukes throughout history. some are more deadlier than others, and you get to choose between those.
Yeah, man. I mean, even if it was detonated in downtown LA,
We would
like,
feel
we
it.
would still get like injured
Damn, dude.
at the least. That's pretty fucking nuts, man.
It shows you fatalities
What-
and shows you injuries.
What country could reach us? Is it Russia?
North Korea.
North Korea can reach us.
I don't fucking believe them. I don't believe them.
I don't know. I kind of believe him, man.
I don't know, but if they
can't even
wanted,
feed their own fucking people.
if they wanted to reach us, they
Dude, that's
fucking
why they can't feed their people.
Yeah.
They're fucking just funding.
could. They got $1 billion.
Where are they getting this money from?
$1 billion.
Where?
nuclear-
Tell me.
That's a good question.
They don't even leave their own fucking place. Where are they getting this money from?
Yeah,
I mean,
they just printed.
Where they
them.
get
yeah,
these
they just
scientists,
probably
huh?
fucking printed.
They're all
dude.
fucking fucking famished all the time. Where are they getting these scientists?
Listen,
huh?
listen. When you could just fucking kill anybody you want to, you don't need money. Is you do this or we fucking kill you.
All right,
Crazy.
so
All right, round two.
Round two. So
I'll let you go first. This
Good
this
job
round.
on that.
We'll read alternate.
This is round two of 3 other websites. One of them is true. A website that allows you to see through the eyes of Jimi Hendrix while performing his set at Woodstock. A
Dude,
website.
that'd be
That would be
sick.
dope. Yeah.
I hope that's real.
a website that allows you to steer. I don't know if it's Suez Canal or the Suez Canal boat to see if you can make it through,
Oh, I have
the one
something to
that
say.
one that fucking
Yeah, the one that got trapped.
backed it up. Okay.
or a website that can predict the next time you'll poop. You want me to read them again?
What was the second one?
A website that allows you to steer the Suez Canal boat, the one that got stuck, to see if you could make it through the Suez Canal and not get stuck.
God damn. I'm going with the second one.
Suez Canal?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I have something to talk about.
It is. I
According-
think it is Suez.
Suez?
I think that's how you
Suez.
pronounce it. Fuck, man. I would say that one too. If I had to go with my next guess, I would say the last one. I feel like the Jimi Hendrix one, that's too.
That'd be so sick.
How would you determine? How would you make that though?
Yeah.
Like, how would you know what he saw through his eyes?
Mm.
You know? Yeah, I would say the third one. The last one. What is it?
What-
Predict the next time you'll poop.
A website that can predict next time you
That'll
poop.
be my second guess. Yeah.
It is the Suez Canal. That is real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, this was on a bunch of websites that I don't know if they're accredited for, but apparently, this article on different websites that aren't accredited for, that aren't major, were saying that Navy SEALs had found bodies in containers from that ship.
Like in that, like that ship was transporting bodies.
Yeah, try to look it up. I
Jesus.
don't even, because that's a Wayfair boat or a Wayfair ship, I believe. I type in Wayfair ship, bodies found or whatever.
Let me see.
So the reason that ship, I wasn't reading too much into it, but I read a little bit of like summary. So the
Is
reason that boat got stuck was because of a sandstorm and winds.
Oh, really?
So it shifted, and
Oh,
they
it's
fired the
Ever Given.
they fired the captain.
Sorry,
Yeah.
can you repeat that?
Oh, what I just said?
Yeah,
Oh,
sorry, I was like,
no, you're
trying to
good.
find
The reason the boat got stuck that way was because of sandstorm winds. So it just
sandstorm.
sandstorm winds. So
Oh,
it shifted. This is what I read. I don't know if it's true, but it shifted, and that's why he got stuck. And apparently they fired the fucking captain.
See,
It was like
well,
not even his fault. It was like not
What
even
the
his
fuck?
fault.
no, dude, they lost like billions a day because of that.
Yeah, but like, how do you fucking?
Yeah.
What the
But
fuck do you
from
do?
what I read in that article, which once again is not accredited
Oh wait,
for.
okay. I just found an article. Fact check: Suez Canal blocking ship was not trafficking people or raided by Navy SEAls.
See, once
Someone
again,
already did the research, I guess.
once again, I don't know. I don't know. Oh, because once again, it's from a source that isn't accredited for. But I saw
Yeah.
like 2 or 3 different websites that said it, and what they had said
Yeah.
had happened is since it was trafficking people, that someone had hacked the navigation of the boat and caused it to get
To
stuck.
crash.
So then
Mm.
it got searched because of it.
I'm gonna say this is false. There's just too much because so it says the article claims over 1,000 trafficked children and dead bodies have been rescued by U.S. Navy SEALs. The container were on Evergreen, blah, blah, blah. The SEALs also found weapons of mass destruction. The first one, plausible.
Yeah.
But you're finding trafficked people and a weapon of mass destruction? I don't know. That's a little too far-fetched for me.
Yeah. You know, like, I don't know. I like to stay neutral on these type of things because I don't know. I'm just being skeptical. I'm like, well, who
Yeah.
wrote that article?
Even more so,
Well,
this was
I'm-
being circulated on
that's-
Facebook.
That's why I'm curious about it, because it's like, why would someone write this?
Yeah. But like, who wrote the latter article?
And
You know
then
what I mean?
again,
Who wrote
if
the article to
this
dispute
is
it?
a
Whatever.
fucking canal that's used every goddamn day, how does this person get stuck? Because of sandstorms, really?
I don't know. You're going to tell me someone discovered that
Yeah.
this ship had weapons of mass destruction and children and women being trafficked.
Well, listen.
So they hacked the ship. This is the thing. That's to
Listen.
apply that the ship's like steering is on a computer network that has wireless connectivity. You're going to tell me this ship is being steered by 5G? I don't know, man.
Hey, man, if Facebook can get hacked, I'm pretty sure this boat can get hacked, all right?
I mean,
Yeah, I
like,
don't know if I
I
buy
don't
that
know.
one.
The fact is, none of us were there, you know? And all
Yeah.
I know is whatever website you're reading might be bullshit. Whatever website I read
Yeah,
might be
nah,
bullshit.
yeah,
I don't
that's
know.
fair.
All
That's
I'm saying
fair.
is that's what I read.
I'm just gonna say
It's the first fucking thing I saw pop up when I had actually researched what the fuck was wrong with this boat.
if I heard that though and that was true, I wouldn't be surprised. I'll just say that.
Like I said, the trafficking, that I was sold. I'm like, oh shit, dude, that's plausible.
Yeah.
But that and the weapon of mass destruction, oh, what else is on there? The fuck aliens were also found on there, you know?
Part of me believe it's
Atlantis.
plausible because of how big of a enterprise it is in America right now, or even in Mexico.
the human, like I said, yeah, the human trafficking,
yes.
plausible. I definitely could believe that. It's just the fucking WMOD. I'm not sure about that.
Man, that's the way to do it though. Like, if you want to fucking traffic anything, I feel like
Big old
Big
ship,
old container
yeah,
ships?
yeah.
what the fuck? They're not gonna go through every single. Well, they might, but
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure there's been cases of that
Yeah.
where they found people in those big
Well,
old
I
shipping
think-
containers.
It wasn't like overseas, but I think it was like a major lake, like in the Northeast. That was like the biggest like drug bust in like American history.
northeast of the United States.
I think.
Oh.
Yeah. But it was like U.S. conducted, but it was like the biggest drug bust ever. It was like, I don't know, something
Crazy.
thousands of pounds of meth or something like that. But they said it was like something ridiculous. I don't know if it was like 200 million or $2 billion worth of drugs or
Oh,
something like
fuck.
Jesus Christ.
that. Yeah.
See, I don't understand. You'll hear cases like that where it's a bunch of drugs found in one place, right? And then my mom was telling me that supposedly that they found out they were trafficking drugs in Frosted Flakes, that they were putting cocaine in the Frosted Flakes boxes.
What the fuck?
So I'm like, what the like? If you could just ship it all in one go like that, where it's like billions of dollars, why are you gonna waste the time to sprinkle cocaine on Frosted Flakes and then have someone there with a fucking colander trying to sift it to get all the cocaine back out? Like, what? What the fuck, dude?
screen just fucking.
Dude, they
Yeah, what the fuck is going on here?
At that point, just fucking mortar and pestle it and just fucking sell it as is, dude. Have people fucking snort Frosted Flakes.
Yeah, fair
Oh
enough.
my god.
Fair enough.
You know the amount of time you got to sift through. These. I mean, hey, listen. If there's a way, criminals are gonna exploit it.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah.
Next round.
Suez Canal.
How many rounds do you have?
One more.
One more
Okay.
round. One more.
Okay. We're 1 for 1 then.
One for one.
Third and final one.
Here we
You guys
go,
doing good?
baby.
You guys are doing
All
good.
right, let's not say it.
Let's say it at the same time.
Yes.
Okay.
You
Alright.
guys are doing good. I'm surprised.
They're honestly not that hard.
I thought it would be
Step it
more
up,
of the
bro.
case of like,
We were too drunk?
no, that anything is possible on the internet. You know what I mean?
Well, it definitely seems like that.
Yeah.
Some of these ones are like, oh, I can imagine that.
yeah.
that I thought it would be more okay. But anyways, the third final round.
You better fool us, bro.
A website that decides what candle smell is the best for your room. A website that will translate bird chirps to English. or a website that shows which McDonald's ice cream machines are broken.
Oh my god.
We should do like A, B, and C, and then on 3 we could pick our choice.
Okay.
You feel me?
You're gonna
wait,
count
wait.
down?
A,
So
B,
A is
C.
the first one, B is the second one.
Yeah,
C
yeah. C's the third one.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah. Can you repeat them again one more time?
A website that decides what candle smell is best for your room.
Mm-hmm.
A website that will translate bird chirps to English. Or a website that shows which McDonald's ice cream machines are broken.
Okay.
3, 2,
I'm
1,
ready.
go.
I'm ready. Wait. So you're
On
gonna say
go?
go?
Go and then go. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
3, 2, 1, go.
C.
Yeah.
That makes sense, bro.
It just makes
just
more
make-
sense.
yeah.
Okay, so the last one, I didn't say the website for the Suez Canal. It's edition.cnn.com/interactive/2021/03
Jesus Christ.
/CNNIX-steership.
I'm good.
I just,
God damn, bro. This is hidden in like some folders.
yeah, it's because I think it was because it's on CNN. That's why. So it's all this fucking whatever. But yes, it is a website that shows.
Just
which
Google Suez Canal simulator.
Yes. It is a website that shows which McDonald's ice cream machines are broken. And there are not that many are broken, honestly.
Really?
Yeah.
So it was just a meme. People are just over exaggerating.
Yeah. You know, it's like if you so it's McBroken.com. That's the MCBROKEN.com.
All right, bro. I'm about to show this. I'm about to show this captain what's up, bro.
So-
So, show you how it's done. I'm full
What-
speed ahead, man.
Just wait. Dude. just fucking wait.
The sandstorm's gonna hit you, bro.
Hit the fucking nos, bro.
Just wait on this.
Have you tried it?
Oh.
Yeah.
Is it hard?
A little bit. You kind of got to account for what's going to happen, but
What do you mean? What's gonna high
so-
winds alert?
So,
What does that mean?
so wait. So they're saying a sand. Oh shit! You're going sideways, bro.
Oh, what the fuck?
oh, bro, you done.
Collision. Damn.
Man, I was fucking turning fucking port side. Is that what it is? Is that the left? I don't fucking know.
So wait, they're saying a sandstorm happened. So
So
this
it like
dude
pushed
just,
the ship into the side?
or this dude just didn't see?
No, it was
Because you just had to
so-
hold that bitch straight, right? Until you have to curve.
Well,
a
it's
little?
in the it's not in the middle, but it's in the Middle East. Like I'm in the middle of the Middle East, but it's in the Middle East, so I assume that happens very often. That these sandstorms happen.
let me share my experience now that I have experience. I was full left, rudder angle full left.
Uh-huh.
Didn't make a difference.
It just
That shit just fucking pushed me.
you just fucking like what's that called? Fucking when like anyways, but yeah, it pushed. So
Fishtailed?
I'm sure he was accounting for the wind, but it just didn't matter. Like
Yeah.
It was
like
too
how,
strong.
How much can you do? You know what I mean? Like you can't see your whole.
Well,
you know the size of that fucking ship.
I believe that
Yeah.
because you can look at semis. They're
Yeah.
not that big.
Yeah,
but-
where they get fucking knocked over.
Yeah.
Fucking
It's not the
jackknife.
driver's
Yeah.
fault.
Yeah. You can't do anything about it.
And like fucking being like I don't know if you guys have ever driven a boat.
No.
It's fucking hard.
Really?
Yeah,
You've driven a boat?
It's not that easy.
Like a fucking I've been to near the beach and I've driven like a little
One of
what are
those
they called?
little.
I forgot what boats they're called, but it's a little good sized boat, but it's
I've
fucking
never
hard.
driven a boat. Yeah,
It's you have to account for a lot of shit,
I feel.
Yeah.
but like imagining the size of that boat and like there's one person that's
Yeah, I was about to say that doesn't sound right.
you know what
I'm
I
pretty
was,
sure there isn't just one person
like,
driving.
I hope there's not because if there was, no wonder that shit went wrong.
what I was thinking, because they were saying what $1 billion a day or $2 billion a day being lost in like revenue because it was
I don't even know.
Stuck.
It was around there.
in the billions. But I was like, who is like accountable for that? I understand like the captain, but he ain't gonna like all the revenue lost.
Yeah, I'm sure it's just like tough shit.
Like, is there like insurance for that? Like, is there some company
Dude,
covering
I don't know
that?
how they didn't fucking think of this. Like
I don't know.
They didn't think of this like fucking
But what can you
contingency.
what can you do though with like Mother Nature just
That's what I'm
like
yeah.
today I'm throwing high winds at you, bitch. You better figure it
Oh,
out.
you better make the canal bigger. That's what I'm saying.
Well, you see that one little fucking excavator in there trying to dig that bitch out?
Or man, you got to put some like bumpers, like at a bowling alley. Put some fucking
Or
bumpers
something.
on that thing.
A bunch of tires on the wrong
Yeah.
line.
I was reading that it was like physically impossible to move the ship because it was stuck in sand. They had to dig sand out,
Yeah,
and if they
that's what-
didn't do that, you couldn't move that boat.
It was the little
Like-
excavator that could. He was
Let me
in
see if
there
I can
fucking
find
digging.
pictures.
Look,
Let me
yeah,
find
look at the
pictures.
pictures. One little excavator. Well, it's not
It was like
little.
one little cat fucking.
Yeah.
I read
What do you call that fucking thing? God damn it!
The
You know what
fucking
I'm talking
penny-
about.
that
The
penny thing?
picture doesn't do it justice, though. It's probably a big ass excavator
First of all, the canal isn't that big. All right, the ship can't
for that
even,
ship. Yeah,
the ship can't even get parallel. I mean, not parallel, perpendicular to it. Look at that thing. Look how big the ship
They
is.
just have
Yeah.
one little.
That's like a Tonka truck, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
First of all, the ship is obviously the ship is fucking huge.
Bro, that shit.
The ship is fucking huge.
How many
okay?
containers do you think are on there? Does it tell you?
Probably $1 billion worth.
It probably has to be
no,
over like
man.
2,000 containers.
You think that many?
Yeah, definitely. And then what can that captain do? The little tugboats.
What is that gonna do, bro?
Yeah. You got to stack up 4 of them just to push
look,
one side.
dude,
I would guess
look
how
at the
many.
back of it.
You, how
Go-
many containers you think? Yeah, it's fucking massive, bro.
Look at the levels on that thing.
How many containers you think?
Dude, there's got to be.
I want to guess. I want to
at least
guess
1,000,
1,000. I want to
1,000,
guess
1,500.
700.
700.
Containers?
Yeah.
Oh fuck no! It's like it's in the thousands for sure.
Let's see. How many containers on Evergreen ship?
20,000.
Oh
Wait,
my
is that right?
God. I wasn't even close. Jesus Christ! How tall is that?
Holy
thing?
fuck!
Well, no wonder they couldn't move the goddamn ship. 200,000 tons.
God damn!
That's all the fucking Amazon products we're buying over
Where
here.
are they building these ships? Who's building these ships? I've never seen one of these ships being built.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
There's a fucking country.
Wow.
There's a fucking country that that has like a
Jesus.
what do you call that? Fucking like a yard just full of dead ships.
Oh yeah, like,
Oh.
like graveyard.
Yeah, like a graveyard for
yeah,
ships, boat
yeah,
graveyard.
There's a country like that, and like all the guys do is like there's guys that like cut the metal free, and there's guys that have to like pull it out, dude. And it's like a deadly ass job. It's terrible,
dude,
and because
holy
of like
shit.
the gas and all the like the just the built up gases from the ships, like people there die like left and right.
Holy
It's
shit!
crazy. I don't know. I got into some deep like YouTube rabbit hole one day, and I came across it, and I was like, damn.
This is crazy.
It's like
I
one of
didn't
those
know.
moments where you got to be grateful.
I didn't know. I didn't know it weighed that much. 200,000 tons. That's like,
That's
400,000 pounds, right?
400,000 pounds. No.
or that'd be more than that.
Yeah, it's like 4 million
Million,
pounds,
yeah.
something like that.
Jesus Christ.
That's all the
That's
fucking
crazy.
emissions right there. Is that fucking boat alone?
Dude, no lie. Like
Yeah.
the biggest emissions come from
Yeah,
these
come from
big
the
old
shipping
fucking
boats, yeah.
containers.
I don't know if you remember
container
when we went to that
ships.
TED Talk.
Yeah,
Remember we went to
yeah.
that TED Talk along with?
Yeah.
They were talking. Remember they were talking about.
Mhm.
So with shit they had, they were saying too that the biggest emission problem was from boats because they just sail. You know, how many days, how many weeks on end.
Oh, he was
Yeah.
talking about hydroplaning, wasn't he?
I don't know. I don't know if it was called that, but he was talking about making like because the biggest. So he wanted to make ships faster, and with that, they would have to eliminate water friction.
Yeah.
So they were talking about making a protective like layer of like I don't know, a protective layer of like smoke or like something that would eliminate water friction, that would make these boats faster and
Fuck.
in turn eliminate emissions. And I was like, what the fuck?
But is that what it's called when boats are like
I think hydroplaning isn't.
That's when you're driving
car,
a car and
what's the one where like the boats they need to gain speed, but once they do, they're like kind of floating on top of the water?
Oh.
What's that called?
dude, I don't know shit about boats.
Okay.
I don't know
Like
anything
skimming?
about
I don't
boats.
know.
I know there's
Skipping?
boats.
Skimming?
Skimmers,
Skimming?
skimming.
I know there's boats that do that. And
So
I
you're
think
saying
that,
they,
that
they
was part.
float? On,
Well,
like-
it's because it's gaining so much speed that it's kind of like gliding on the water.
okay.
So it's reducing the amount of gas that it takes to do it. I think that was part of the presentation. That he
I'm
was
gonna see
talking
if I can
about.
find it. Slipway?
Maybe I don't know. What does it look like? Is there a picture?
No, I just Googled
definition?
process when ship glides on water.
Definition? What does it say?
Let me see. I'm watching. Let me see.
How did you come across that TikTok? You just like
Oh no, the slipway is something
Oh, I
else.
saw that it was at UCLA.
and it was free, right?
It was a TEDx event. Yeah.
Fuck.
No, it wasn't free. I paid $60 each ticket.
Oh fuck! What the fuck?
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
But dude, I mean, $60. I mean, we got a free lunch out of it too.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
I,
not
I
bad.
called out of work that day.
Yeah.
I was like,
Dude,
yeah, I can't come in.
that was the first time I went to like a high-end university. I was like, damn,
Oh,
no wonder
fuck
why
yeah.
it's so expensive to be here. Holy shit.
Dude, holy shit, yeah. That
Remember
was
when we
UCLA,
walked down
yeah.
to the like athletic fields?
Yeah.
Dude, those were so nice.
Yeah, I didn't imagine it would be like that.
Hydrofoil? Oh,
Maybe.
that's something else.
Oh.
I don't know, dude.
I don't know
fucking
the name of it.
man.
This whole time I thought it was hydroplaning, but I think that was part of the presentation. The guy was saying that like if we figured out a way to make those the shipping boats be able to do that, it would reduce the amount of gas
Yeah,
that it took.
emissions. They were talking about blockchain on that.
Yeah, I remember
Oh,
that
really?
They
one.
were
Yeah.
talking
Cool.
about this was like what, like fucking 4 years ago?
Yeah.
And I was like,
In
we were
its
like,
infancy.
what the fuck is blockchain? And he was like,
Dude, that's what Daniel's cousin got a PhD in. It was in
Oh, that's
blockchain.
right, yeah.
No shit.
Yeah, blockchain research. Making like 300 fucking K now.
God
Dude.
damn.
It's crazy.
I don't remember much from the presentation, but even then I was like, dude, this is the future. Like,
yeah, dude. I was like, what the fuck is this? What are you talking
Dude,
about?
I was
that-
doing. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say that one and the one where the guy made what was it, the protein burger out of like a soybean or whatever it was.
I don't remember.
He made a fucking burger and it was up on the stage and he had a guy come up and I think he had him eat it, just to prove that it was real. And then like the guy ate it and he admitted like it tastes just like a burger, but it was like taking the protein out of like a soybean or
soybean?
something like that.
I think that's what like those Impossible burgers
Hmm.
are made out of. I think they're made out of soy.
Damn, dude, we were in the future when we were looking at that, dude.
Dude.
Yeah, it's made from
Blockchain,
soy and
Impossible
potatoes.
Burger. Now, what I liked about that TED Talk, it was like there was a different subject. And there was a dude that went up there
Exactly.
and just fucking played guitar.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was like played a piece. I don't know if it was a piece that he composed, but I was like, whoa, this is fucking dope.
Yeah, that's the cool thing about those TED Talks.
We should
Dude.
definitely go to one when everything's open back up.
Dude,
And
I'm
it's back
down.
here
I
in
still
LA.
really want to really want to go to one. I was looking into crypto mining. So okay, you know we should get into the topic
No,
because
about
this
that-
is gonna open a whole. I'll keep it short. I was doing a deep dive into how it's still really hard to get the new NVIDIA
Yeah.
graphics cards, like the 3080s, 3070s, and I was getting really fucking pissed just because all these scalpers, crypto miners, ruining it for everybody. But anyways, I was looking into it and I was like, okay, you know what? Fuck it. What if I just start doing what if I just start crypto mining?
Yeah.
It'll pay for itself. It's fucked though now because
Can you explain to everyone what crypto mining is?
okay, God, I'll try to explain it in the simplest terms, okay? In the simplest terms, the way that like crypto transactions happen is that every like coin, I'm gonna just say Bitcoin for argument's sake. Every Bitcoin will have like a particular like hash or like a secret key, okay? And when someone makes a transaction in that, a certain phrase is created and those things are linked. The key and the phrase is linked. And what happens when you're crypto mining is you are verifying that transaction. Now, the thing is that there's like a ridiculous amount of combinations for a hash to be created, right? Let me go back. The reason why that's happening is that's how you make sure that no one is pretty much buying two things with the same coin, right? Because how do you prevent like me saying, oh yeah, here's this? How do you prevent me duplicating coins, pretty much?
Yeah.
So that's what this process is for. Now, what happens though is that every time that you verify a coin, the person who verified it or who matched that hash key, they get paid out a certain amount of that coin as well. And that's how there's more and more Bitcoins being created. After a certain point, though, there will be a cap, which will be interesting to see what happens. Because I think it's only like 21 million Bitcoins will be created, and then that process stops. So crypto mining, all you're literally doing is you're just like continually running those combinations until you find a hash that matches, and then you're getting paid out. That's why a lot of people buy GPUs, is because there's a lot of computing power in GPUs in terms of like the cost that you're spending. So instead of buying, 50 computers, which are going to cost you, I don't know how much amount of money on average, you could just buy the GPUs and then hook it up that way and just have the GPUs running. And literally all it's doing is just continually guessing over and over and over and over again until it hits that hash. Because the first person to match it, those are the ones who get awarded those Bitcoins. But the issue now, if you're trying to start out in it, is that there's something called mining pools that people are a part of. And pretty much, it's kind of like the lottery where people all go in together. And if they win, they're going to split the
lottery
earnings.
pool, yeah.
Yeah, it's like that, but for crypto mining. But the issue is that...
a whole different world,
Dude,
man.
a whole different world.
The
The issue that with crypto, like let's say we wanted to get started in it, the initial cost is going to outweigh what we're going to make. It's just not financially worth it anymore, at least when it comes to the big ones like Bitcoin. I don't even know what other big cryptocurrencies are out there.
Ethereum.
So yeah,
Dogecoin.
sure.
Those,
bro.
Bitcoin in those are.
Well, yeah, I know Dogecoin is
Yeah,
growing, which like what the fuck. Anyways, but the issue is that with these mining pools,
Invest now.
Yeah.
with these mining pools, let's say we all joined a pool, you only get paid out with like the computing power that you're contributing, right? So us with our one GPU, it's going to be like 0.000000001% of the total computing power, because you have these motherfuckers who, I mean, props to them. They were smart to jump in fast, but they literally have like a ridiculous, stupid number of computing power just to mine crypto. So it's
Yeah.
just like the amount of money it would take to catch up, we're not going to see the returns on it. That's what's fucking ass. I just want a better fucking GPU for my gaming computer.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. It sucks. But obviously, yeah, props to them for getting big on that. But two things. I actually have an app called, I don't know if you've heard of Pi.
I have, yeah.
You can
For-
mine straight
for-
from your phone.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought Pi was used to like buy.
No, you can mine. So
Cryptocurrencies.
you're mining Pi. So
How long have you had that?
I've had this for maybe a month now. My brother told me about it.
What what returns have you seen?
So the returns are based on how many people you add to Pi. So say I referred you,
Uh-huh.
my amount of mining per hour increases. So it's like an incentive.
It's kind of like a
Yeah.
it's kind of like a
in a-
like a pyramid scheme.
in a sense, but
Damn, Andy, you're back in another
But I mean,
one.
there's no
but I'm
initial
I'm
cost you have to
I'm
pay
not,
for
I'm
anything.
not paying anything for this. But this thing, it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be because it was made by like Harvard, like scientists and all this, and they made this whole thing. But it's gonna be
That
on
looks like
the,
a Harvard scientist right
yeah,
there.
it's gonna
that
be on the
goofy
market.
ass motherfucker.
So it's gonna be like public, like next year or something
Oh,
like that.
Pi is?
Yeah.
Oh,
So my brother was like, "Oh, just do it." Like,
yeah. I
what's
mean, there's no harm, right?
What's the harm in doing it? So I mean, I could.
But
you
like,
guys-
what crypto are you mining? Do you know? Or does it even
I don't know.
say? Okay.
I don't know what you mean by crypto.
Like what specifically? Like, is it Bitcoin, Dogecoin?
I think it's its own thing.
Oh, it's its own.
Yeah, it's its own thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
no, yeah, you're not mining anything else. Yeah,
Oh,
because
so
I
it's
wouldn't.
just Pi coin or
Pi
whatever.
coin, yeah, I wouldn't do that because I'd be
Oh.
like, "What the fuck?"
Interesting.
So I mean,
that's
they're
actually
trying to
kinda cool.
jumpstart their own.
Their
yeah,
own
their own thing.
cryptocurrency.
Because I mean, I'm pretty sure
Dude,
like
I'm gonna download that shit right now. All right, you
pretty
sold me, bro.
I'm pretty sure like 9 at or
This-
maybe
Wait,
not
do you
that
have to
many.
refer me?
Yeah,
Or do I download
well,
it
if-
and then enter a referral code?
I could send you a link.
Refer to
and
both
then-
of us.
Yeah,
then.
refer us.
Well, I mean, I could. Okay, I'll do it.
This reminds me of a website that I had found. Have you heard of websites that will pay you for social media accounts that use your data?
No.
So there's
maybe.
this starter company that I had found called Tiki.
Okay.
And their main goal was to get 10,000 users to sign up, and then they were going to release an app, and then they were going to try to get people paid out every month for companies using their data, which sounds like
Weird.
the future to me, right?
Yeah.
And I think it was going to start off really like small, like $10 a month, which you know that's something,
That's, yeah,
Yeah.
that's not
right?
bad.
And that's your data.
That's your fucking your
Yeah.
Netflix.
yeah.
I almost said Netflix.
But their goal was to release the app last month. I think there's only like 3 or 4 people like actually developing the app. It hasn't come out yet, but I signed up for it. I was like, what if this is the one fucking thing that is the future?
Yeah. It's
You know what
fuck
I
it,
mean?
man. If,
Yeah.
let me-
And it
I'm
cost
looking
me
at this.
nothing. I just threw in my fucking email address and I was like, hey, I'm up for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yeah. And they got 10,000 people. So
Oh shit.
I mean, like that's essentially what Bitcoin was. Like at a certain point, like it wasn't. Bitcoin was like worth what, like 5 cents.
Yeah.
whether you think it's a joke or not, it's definitely going to be the future.
That's what I
Because
was-
even money now, it's all ones and zeros in a computer.
Yeah, the only thing that I'm curious to see is once it really starts to grow a lot of traction, how are these like government agencies going to react? Because they can no longer control.
Yeah.
There are. I forgot what country it was. It already banned cryptocurrency.
Mhm. No, there's a few countries that have already done that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And how they're catching illegal crypto mining is through electricity bills.
Yeah. Yeah.
'Cause
Really?
to mine crypto is like an expensive.
That's something to take into account is what your electricity costs
Yeah.
will be in mining.
Yeah. I saw a video on Instagram where like it was these guys that had started, I think, a crypto mining like facility. They just had major server rooms full of just fucking computers and all kinds of shit. Out in the middle of the sticks, they had a fucking windmill powering everything. You know
Oh,
what
what
I mean?
the fuck?
Yeah.
I saw one where they had it like somewhere in the Arctic Circle, like somewhere
Real cold.
Yeah, like somewhere in like northern Russia or some shit like
God
that,
damn.
just to help keep everything running efficiently.
Keep everything cool.
Yeah.
I've seen shit on TikTok, dude, where people have like these fucking crazy setups for crypto mining. I was like, what the fuck,
Dude, it's interesting because when I was doing my research into it, there's like ethical concern about carbon footprint with crypto mining because it's using so much fucking
Yeah.
electricity. And they was saying like they need to start pushing aggressively for like renewable resources if crypto mining is going to become like one of the major, like currencies in our,
It
in
makes
our
sense,
planet.
man.
Yeah. Okay, I got to fucking piss too. I'll be right back.
Yeah, I'll go for it.
Crazy, 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 dude.
What I was gonna say earlier is I'm sure that like, what's a good fucking number? You know what? In today's age, I'm sure 5 out of 10 people would say that cryptocurrency is the future.
You think so?
50%. I would say that. Maybe
5 out of 10? I don't know, dude.
Maybe that's too high.
'Cause
Because I was gonna
what-
say 7, but I was like, nah, that's too
Okay,
high.
are we talking about around the world or are we talking about in the United States? Because then we'd have to figure out what is like the population predominantly. Is it older generations?
I would say
younger generations?
I would say developed countries.
developed countries.
I would say developed countries.
5 out of 10?
Yeah. Maybe even fucking 3.
I don't know, dude. Because where is cryptocurrency becoming big? Is it in? Is it in other countries? Is it in the United States where it's becoming? These are the variables you have to think of, right?
Yeah.
Because even though they're developed countries, they might not be thinking that. Like America still leads in innovation, right?
Mhm.
Would we argue that we still lead
No, yeah,
in
yeah.
innovation? And if we're leading the way in digital currency, a lot of developed countries might still be behind. Even though James just said that there's a fucking farm in northern Russia, just
That's my thing. It's just like I don't know, because like as soon as these big these big companies jump on like cryptocurrency, because Tesla already has.
yeah.
They're accepting
Well,
Bitcoin and
Well,
in
Elon
forms of
Musk
payment.
is trying to push for
Dogecoin too.
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like it's gaining more traction definitely now.
But how can we? how
yeah,
do-
maybe 50% is too high too.
How can we? How can we validate the validity of something that is just randomly guessed for 2 codes? You know what I mean?
Mm.
And then you're the winner of it. How does that work?
And I think that goes back to the price of it being solely on the people. People put the price onto things, right?
Yeah.
Like money, for example, currency, like actual dollar bills. That was just people putting price onto something. And I feel like they can do like, and it's like demand too. And I feel like, I mean, Bitcoin jumped to $60,000 a coin at a certain point. You could argue that's more valuable than a dollar
Yeah.
now, right?
Yeah.
Like
No, it definitely is.
it I don't know. It's the future, and I might be a little biased, because I think it's the future.
Yeah.
People might not think that because
I don't know.
but
It just seems like something that's very locked up to a certain amount of people at this point. If, like I said, how can you validate something that its validity comes from randomly guessing two codes, right?
I don't know, but it's valid.
And then if you have people that are already locked into it, that have spent hundreds of thousands of dollars making sure that they guess correctly after so many thousands of guesses or millions of guesses, where's the validity in that? I mean, where's that fair game to normal currency today?
Yeah. When this is when I kind of thought it was like, this is like a big deal, is when I started seeing that you were able to invest in cryptocurrency on like stock trading apps and for like the everyday retail trader.
Yeah.
It's like, okay,
There is some belief behind it.
Yeah. People, not only the fact that people believe in it, but the fact that the apps decided to put this on there, right?
Yeah.
It's because they believe that it has some sort of wealth. And it does. I mean, it's like $58,000 a coin now. Bitcoin, like any other coin, Ethereum, Dogecoin, fucking USD coin. Do you remember when I was fucking online gambling?
Yeah.
And I was like, man, this BRD coin is like $7. I mean, 7 cents a fucking coin.
Yeah.
Guess what that shit is now? That was in December.
How much?
It's like 52 cents a coin now.
Holy shit.
And do you remember? I was like, man, if I put like $1,000, like $700 in, and not even that much. If I put like $500 into this,
It's
even if
huge
it doubles,
returns.
like, even
How
if
much
it
did
went
you
to-
put into it?
I didn't put anything.
Bro, I remember that, and I remember saying, dude, fuck it, do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just like, whatever. And it's fucking, dude, I would have had like at least 7 times my money if I would have put whatever in there. But whatever, hindsight's 2020. But
Yeah, you live and you learn.
but after that point, I was like, fuck, dude, like this is fucking crazy, man.
Just don't get lost chasing the dragon,
No,
bro.
yeah, no. I mean, that was only one example.
Well, you can't chase the dragon if you've never gotten high. So you saw it, and
Yeah. But I was just like, dude, fuck it, me, dude. And it was whatever. But I was like, I have money in Bitcoin, so.
Should we start
What is the
the
time
actual
we're at?
topic?
yeah. What's your topic?
I feel like we could get through this. Not taking too much time.
So I mean, I can only talk about one. I'm down to talk about just one point. And it's the point of, so, okay, the internet is okay. My topic was the history of the internet.
Let's
Okay. And that's what originally we were going to talk about. But I mean, we've had good conversation. I wasn't going to end that. So I was telling James, like, it's not about like, because my original question was who created the internet, right? It's not about that. There were a multitude of people who had,
it was a group effort.
yeah, it was a group effort in who created the internet. So it's like, fuck, okay, this isn't this fucking simple thing. Right? It's a very complex process. So I kind of wanted to get to like, I guess the kind of foundation of it in terms of like maybe inspiration that it had, or people who thought about an internet world without necessarily labeling it the internet. And I but I knew, to me, where I wanted to start was Nikola Tesla. Because originally, genius, obviously, for his time and for what he was thinking about. But originally, he had I think his final project was to build like a wireless communication tower. I don't know if you guys have heard about that. It was in New York. It was actually being built.
They killed that dude for
But-
sure.
It's because he wanted free power.
He wanted free
energy.
essentially he wanted free power, and
Free energy.
he was going to. I mean, he was in competition with Tom. Was Thomas Edison? Yeah. because of his invention of the AC current. And what Thomas Edison was doing was DC current. And AC current was just, it was a better way to distribute power across longer distances. But anyways, going back to his invention of this wireless communication tower,
Excuse me.
it was being
Thank
built. It was being built in New York, and originally what he
New
wanted was the fucking bad trip.
Was it something albino? My pussy's on fire. sorry.
But I was thinking that the other day. I couldn't remember the words. But anyways, he was building this tower for wireless communication and to, you know, for people to allow people to have electricity across, you know, without anything, without any connection. But without that being named the internet, that was essentially what it was, right? It was just like wireless communication, and that was essentially the radio, right?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
And I feel like there's a lot of similarities between the radio boom and the internet boom, which I'll get into, which is probably where I'll end. But that's what he wanted to create, was just this wireless communication throughout the U.S. in a sense. So there's a quote that I want to read. Where is it? It's actually on my phone. Shit. Give me a second.
I'm about to say, we're talking about the internet. You're writing on pencil and paper.
I fucking retain. So he says here, as soon as completed, he's talking about the tower. As soon as completed, it will be possible for a businessman in New York to dictate instructions and have them instantly appear in type at his office in London or elsewhere. He will be able to call up from his desk and talk to any telephone subscriber on the globe without any change whatever in the existing equipment. An expensive instrument not bigger than a watch will enable its bearer to hear anywhere on sea or land music or song, the speech of a political leader, the address of an eminent man of science, or the sermon of an eloquent clergyman, delivered in some other place, however distant. In the same manner, any picture, character, drawing, or print can be transferred from one place to another. Millions of such instruments can be operated from one plan of this kind.
It's extremely forward looking.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's just like,
Dude, God damn, dude. That
like what is that? Right?
You guys remember how I told you last week how I fucking fell in love with Hamlet or Hamilton?
Yeah, Hamilton. I was like, Hamlet.
Yeah, Hamilton. Sorry,
I was like, we were talking about Shakespeare last week?
Hamilton. That along with like the founding fathers, like where do these guys get these fucking wisdom from? You know, like just to be able to like, just kind of guess. They can't like understand what the future would be, right? Like Nikola Tesla would never guess that the internet is what it is today, or even that it would be called the internet, right? Or the founding fathers would understand what America is today.
Yeah.
But they had a foundation like Nikola Tesla had. Like he nailed what the internet is today. You can use your Apple Watch and connect to the fucking internet.
Yeah.
Or a smartwatch, whatever you want to say. It's just insane.
The watch one is
The amount of wisdom that these guys had.
Yeah. I feel like to be devil's advocate, I think it was inevitable. Because when you think about what the internet is, it's point-to-point communication, right? That's what it is at its core. It's you have some information that I would benefit from.
Mm-hmm.
So how do we transfer that information? And just like that quote said, that concept is nothing new.
Yeah.
Right? Because we've had mail, we've had like those courier pigeons, and then even getting into the early 20th century, we had there's something, I think it was called like Telemex or something like that. It was like early, almost like fax machines. There was the fucking what do you call where you would like send the beeps?
Oh,
it was like using telephone lines. God damn it.
Morse code?
Morse code, but what was the medium, the tools that they used?
Oh, I don't know the tool. What's called?
God damn it. But I mean, even think about phone lines, right?
Yeah.
Like that's what it was at its core.
Yeah.
So I feel like if you dedicate your life to like information, it makes sense, right? Like that's the next key is we had mail, right? Which you could transfer me information, but that's going to take however long, months, weeks. You have carrier pigeons, maybe that's going to make it a little faster. We have God, this is really going to fucking bug me. God damn it. The telegraph.
There you go.
The telegraph. You
I
have
was
the
thinking of that,
telegraph.
but I didn't think that was right.
You have the telegraph that it's going to make it even faster, right?
Mhm.
But how do you make it like nearly instantaneous?
Yeah.
You know, that's what we were moving towards.
I don't see how you go from like having the idea of having electricity to just like how can I
Yeah.
pass information through this bitch?
So
Yeah.
yeah. So with that, and when I say I wanted to get into the groundwork and framework of it, I'm sure he wasn't thinking of an internet type entity, because he very well could have been thinking about just the radio, right? Radio waves and sending information across that. But I wanted to get this far back because, I mean, I'm sure it could be argued that the radio inspired the internet in some sort of way,
Yeah.
right? So,
100%.
but
Or the telegraph did.
yeah.
Um,
But the reason also too when I read this is when he said, where is it? In the same manner, any picture, character, or drawing can print can be transferred from one place to another,
yeah, that's pretty crazy.
and that's bigger than what the radio is, right?
Mm.
It's like, okay, well, a radio is just like transferring sounds, right? And you could listen to this or listen to FM, AM, whatever. But when you start to get to pictures, that's when it's like, okay, well,
Yeah.
what the fuck? What are you talking about here?
What's crazy too is like at that point, they don't even have the medium to understand that.
Yeah.
Right. They don't have. I mean, was the television even
Yeah.
No.
invented at that
What
point?
was
No.
he around? What year was
It was
I
the
don't-
early 1900s.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I think he was born in the 1800s,
Let me fact check.
late 1800s, and then he lived through the 1900s.
I know pictures weren't that great back then.
Oh yeah, like photography. Yeah. So he. Oh shit. He was born 1856.
Oh wow, I thought it was later.
God
He
damn.
he died in 1943. I thought he died a lot earlier. That's pretty crazy.
1943.
Yeah, he was
Dude,
he was pretty old.
Born
so
in
he
Croatia.
he had this idea and even printers weren't around.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, dude, not even televisions are around. Like, how do you imagine that you're transferring images?
Pictures, yeah.
Yeah.
Insane.
So yeah, so I mean, originally it could have been, you know, he could have just been thinking about radio, right? Which is fine.
Yeah.
Well, do you know
Um,
when this quote was?
I don't know.
1943.
Yeah, I don't.
Because it might have been after the television was created.
Um,
It says the television was created
so it had to have
or
been,
successfully demonstrated in 1927. Sorry.
okay. No, it had to have been around the time of the construction of his transmitting station in New York.
Hmm.
But that was never completed due to running out of money. And I actually didn't know this. He actually was friends with J.P. Morgan, which is like I think the original like co-founder of Chase Bank,
Yeah.
and he gave him a fucking loan of like $150,000 because
Oh,
he
wow.
believed in like what he was saying and whatnot. Because when I hear something this big, and then I hear that he couldn't complete the construction of this because he ran out of money, in my head I'm like, okay, like who wouldn't fund this, right?
Mm.
Who wouldn't end up funding this fucking, you know, like this fucking life-changing thing, right? But it was a case of where he was running out of money. He asked for more money, but someone had already sent like a radio telegram. Someone had already completed that.
So they thought
So-
they had lost or something.
Yeah, so people didn't want to invest in his invention anymore. They were investing in this guy. His last name was Marconi. I forgot his first name.
Mhm.
So investors were fucking rushing to invest in in what this guy did instead of what Tesla did. And I was reading into all that, and I was like, "Fuck, holy shit!" Because he he was arguing that dude used like 17 of his patents to create what he did.
Oh, I remember.
Tesla
hearing
was
this.
arguing
yeah,
that?
and he took it, and it went to court, and actually went like, and they just like kind of booted Tesla. Like, no, he this dude Marconi invented this. But yeah, man, throughout Tesla, I don't know. I was just reading a lot of shit throughout Tesla's life. It seemed like he got like the short end of the stick.
Yeah.
And it sucks because he was very, he was like ahead of his time, and he
Yeah.
was. I'm sure he was the pioneer of all this, electrical engineering and all this, all these inventions that were just like beyond comprehension at the time,
Yeah.
right? But I want to get into the similarities of the radio boom and the internet boom, and I think it would be cool to end on this, just because there's a quote that I like at the end that I really appreciate that the author came to a summarization on.
Wait, which author?
I'm gonna say it right now.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I don't know the author's name, but I do have the website. And I don't want to say the whole website because it's just fucking a bunch of slashes too. And I made the mistake earlier doing that. But it's uvm.edu, so you could just
EDU.
Yeah, I'm sorry, edu. You could just Google radio boom, similarities between radio boom and internet boom. And so what the radio was originally used for was also point-to-point communication, but it was only for the purpose of war. And it was to get messages
That's where it all
across
starts.
for battle tactics and for all that. And it wasn't until normal people started to band together and use the radio, because if you have a transmitter, you could pick up any radio signal you want, right? And the government saw that as like, like a fucking national security. Like, what if anyone could do this, right? Anyone can get their hands on a fucking antenna and make their own radio, and they can tune into fucking 97.3 and get all the U.S. Not at the time. I'm just they could get all the U.S. battle tactics, and you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So it wasn't until people, just normal people started to create. It was called the Radio Relay League, and it was these people that banded together and started to use radio for entertainment purposes. They started to share like sports scores, and it was just for fun too. Like, it was just like these fucking random people that were doing it for fun.
It was like a ham radio
Yeah.
club.
Yeah, exactly.
Losers.
They started to trade sports scores. They started to like talk to each other.
Could have dominated the world.
Yeah.
Instead, they want to fucking talk about sports scores.
They started to like fucking stream music in a sense, right? If someone had a record player, someone else didn't, right? They started to fucking share music across this. And the and people were picking up on this, like, oh shit, like, well, this could be used for fucking money. Like, well, what if we start to sell radios, and we started to sell these things that people could pick up on, and they could listen to all this and listen to music and whatever, and it started to be used, to gain like revenue and then like investment, and that's when things started to change the radio, right? It wasn't the government couldn't have probably never seen this because they only wanted it for war.
Yeah.
They wanted it to send battle tactics and communication.
Yeah.
So the quote this guy says, or whoever the author was, guy or girl, he said, "Established institutions see new technologies through established lenses. New uses of technologies often come from minor players and take time to be established." So I guess to summarize that is that the government could only see one use of the radio because they had already established what it was to them, right?
Yeah.
And it was through war and point-to-point communication through that. They couldn't have possibly seen that this could be used for like fucking, like in the future for fucking music, right? AM, FM, streaming rock music,
Yeah.
For
fucking
ads,
whatever, right? They
Yeah.
couldn't have possibly seen
politicals,
that.
elections stuff.
And it this made me like appreciate, I guess, like the little guy in a sense, right? Because I feel like when you start to add like government involvement or like greed into things like this, just to go back a little, so the government had actually made a radio law, and they were able to choose who was able to stream on the radio or not. And they could pick and choose that. Like, imagine if that was done with the internet. If that's done with the internet now,
yeah.
if they could pick and choose who only makes websites, like that would be fucking
Holy shit! Yeah, I didn't think about that.
like.
That would be
what repercussions would they
crazy.
fucking?
Yeah.
You know that the world would go crazy, or the world, the U.S. especially, if like
Holy
only
shit, I didn't think
Well,
of that.
wouldn't technically isn't that what China does?
They try,
Mm-hmm.
but the internet, there's always a way to get around it
Mm-hmm.
for those who are technically inclined, at least for China's scenario. And it's funny because we were just talking about that in one of my classes, that the internet is such a beast now. Like, to try this is the thing. China can control which country's information you're accessing, or like which country's domains you're accessing, but just like what we create, like we can create a website on the internet talking mad shit about China.
Yeah.
And for them to make sure that no citizen sees that, it's impossible. They
Yeah.
can't do it. They would have to literally isolate their network and close it off to everything else outside their country.
Yeah. So this is why I understand why the government is so afraid of the internet, because they can't control it, right? It would be an uproar to control it,
Yeah.
and it wouldn't be the right decision here, right?
Yeah.
To do that. But also, it's also why like you have pirate radio, like, and that's why
Yeah.
that's illegal,
Yeah.
right? There's an episode of Malcolm in the Middle where
Yeah.
fucking Hal was like,
The FCC is fucking
and
chasing
he's
him.
fucking chasing him because
Yeah.
he used to have his own fucking radio station where he would just like talk shit about the government.
Yeah.
And people would tune
Oh,
in.
Such a good episode.
But that's why you have that, is because not everyone is allowed on the radio. That's why you don't like, you can't tune into like a fucking house in the middle of Riverside that's, you know, talking about how fucking aliens are gonna invade the earth or whatever. That's why you only
Yeah.
have these established radio connections from FM, like music, Jack FM, or you have like certain fucking religious or whatever.
Yeah.
But I was just reading that, I was like, holy shit!
Yeah, I
like,
didn't think about that.
this
That's
is
pretty crazy.
if the similarities, because the similarities are already like crazy and intense, and it's almost like on the same level. But reading it, I was just like, man, if this happens to the internet, this could be like I don't know, it just could cause a crazy amount of conflicts here. But it made me appreciate, too, reading that quote, it made me appreciate the minor player in things like radio. People who were seeing uses of these things for the things that they wanted to do, right? Like this guy, he just wanted to share sports scores. Or this guy, he just wanted to stream or like share music with his friends. Or like go into the internet. Like Mark Zuckerberg, he just wanted to fucking make an app or a website that was, you know, used to connect college kids.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know,
Man, I gotta pee again.
you're good. Just going back, like he didn't know it was going to be what it was today, right?
Yeah.
He was just a minor player in things. He was just like, okay, well, this, and it ended up being, because like 9 out of 10 people, if you ask them what the internet is, what would you think they would say? It's like social media, right?
Yeah, at this
Facebook,
point.
Instagram, Twitter,
Yeah.
fucking TikTok. That's what's going to be. That's what they're going
Or
to say
Google,
most of the time.
yeah.
Google, right? It's not going to be like what the internet was originally intended for,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you know, the impact that these minor players have is bigger than what originally things were intended for, radio and the internet, right? So it was just like, I don't know, it was just like turning gears in my mind, and I was like, holy shit, like, you know, what these things become is because of the people and not because of us,
Yeah.
right? Originally, right? It's
Mhm.
not what the government says these things are, right? We make it what it is.
They're always after the fact.
Yeah,
They're always
exactly.
trying to rein it in after.
So just reading that, and I was like, man, and like what you were saying, like 2 episodes ago, how you were saying the internet is like the Wild West. I was like, holy fuck, dude, this thing is the Wild West, because they
Mhm.
can't contain this thing. They can't control it
Not
for however
anymore.
much they want to. They can't do
Yeah.
that. And it's just like you can make whatever domain name you want, right?
Mhm.
And you could have that website be about anything you want it to be, and it made me feel free in a sense, because I could do that,
Mhm.
right? Like,
Mhm.
oh, I could just fucking do whatever the fuck I want on this thing, right? But it also scared me a little bit because obviously, like, if the government can't control this thing, no one can.
Yeah,
sense,
so you're
right?
gonna get the good and the bad.
Yeah, you're gonna get the good and bad, and that's with everything, obviously, you know. But it just, it made me appreciate kind of the time that I'm living in now.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm like,
Mhm.
holy shit! Like this is, you know, like it's the information age. It's the age of
There might be more.
It's just the age, like being able to do what you want has shifted. Oh, being able to do what you want and where has shifted over time, right? So, like, you know,
Yeah.
what you mean by the internet is the Wild West is that in the Wild West, you could fucking challenge a dude in a fucking saloon. Like, hey, let's go outside. You're pissing me off. I want to shoot you. Let's have a fucking Mexican standoff, right?
Mhm.
And like there was no repercussions to that, and no one could arrest you. It was like it was a fucking pact between you. Someone's gonna die, you
Mhm.
know. We don't know who, but we could do this. And that's moved to the internet, and it was just a big realization for me. I was just, and because the internet to me just wasn't that, like, and what I was saying earlier, the internet to me was just social media,
Mhm.
and was just these things that I could share like my opinion on, which is a big part of what the internet is. But it's a lot bigger than that, you know, when you think about it on like a freedom sense, and it's a lot bigger than that, especially if the government can't control it, right? So, yeah, like all these realizations were coming to me, and I feel like that is a good place to end it on. I feel
Until the next episode.
until the next episode, because I just wanted to set some framework for it. I wanted to set some like foundation for it, and I wanted to get people thinking about what the internet actually is. You know, it's not just something you listen to. It is obviously, but it's deeper than that. It's more than what you go on to listen to a podcast. It's more than what you go on to share your selfies on. Right? It's more than that,
Mhm.
and
It's more than just porn.
it's more than just porn. A majority is porn, but it's more than that. You know. But again, entertainment, right?
Yeah.
That's what it is, and that's what people have made it. And that's what we all have made it to be. So I just wanted to get people's minds thinking about that, and their gears turning. And I think next week would be more appropriate for, or not even next week, when my next episode is. It'd be more appropriate to get into like analytics of it, of like, you know, what the internet actually is,
Mhm.
and like it being just, you know, just a combination of things that people invented, you know, for certain things. So, yeah. I know I threw out a lot of information there, but it's
No, I agree. I think that is a good way to leave the bait hanging,
yeah.
you know? Leave people wanting more. The only thing I wanted to add is that when it comes to the internet, mind you, I don't know about radio. I couldn't tell you how it works. I couldn't tell you I damn well couldn't tell you how to build a radio,
Yeah.
but I
Neither.
know
I'm
it's
not a-
possible.
I'm not an expert in this shit.
Yeah.
You know, I form my own opinions when I read things, and if you want to take it, cool. If you don't, awesome.
But my point is, from what I know, I would argue that the internet is the most powerful example of something called abstraction. And that's something can be difficult, but it's one of the most important aspects when it comes to understanding computing or computer science or whatever. And what it is it's using something without knowing how it's working underneath, right? And you think of like a car. You could think we have some level of understanding of how a car works. We understand that there's gasoline involved, which is the fuel, and that's driving some type of pistons, which is then, you know, spinning some type of drive chain that's turning
Yeah.
your tires, right? We could at least understand that.
Yeah.
We could somewhat understand how a toilet works, right?
Yeah.
Which would be that's another topic. But we can understand that, you know, you dump water and it's going to somehow flush water. The internet is this beast, and with such a strong level of abstraction that, like, think about it. Like, before you did this research, could you have explained to me how it worked or what it even was? You know,
Not at all.
without really knowing.
Yeah.
You think of the everyday person who uses the internet every single day. There's people who literally spend the majority of their time on the internet, but they have zero understanding of how it works. And I think that's somewhat detrimental because you get people who are in power who have to make very important and lasting decisions on something that they don't understand. But it's also like almost like beautiful. It's like magic. You know, that's literally what it is. It's magic. You're doing something that you don't understand, and it's communicating in a language you don't understand, yet you know how to use it.
Yeah.
You know, they're like, I think that just goes to show how amazing the human mind can be and how amazing humanity can be, is that we could build something that can be so complex yet so user friendly. Like, that's impressive. And I would argue that's probably why the internet is what it is, because at least with radio, there was some stronger level of understanding that they recognize, like, you know what, we need to like limit this like right away, right? And that's why we have policies in place that, you know, we can't just fucking broadcast our radio signal.
Yeah.
I would argue that the reason why that didn't happen with the internet is because the majority of people just had no clue what it was. They didn't know what was in store. And by the time, I mean, we're still barely getting a grasp of what it is and its impact and what it could be in the future. But I mean, it's around the globe now. Like you said, we can't stop it anymore. If tomorrow the government said, you know what, we are now going to censor the internet, we are going to control what you can view, what you can't view, the reality is there's only so much they could do. There's always going to be ways around it. You know, when it comes to the everyday person, they could probably limit them, but if it comes to the people who are informed and who are educated, there's nothing you could do.
Nope.
There's nothing.
Nope.
So I don't know. Acknowledge the abstraction, but sometimes the fun in a magic trick is knowing how it works. So for those listening, I definitely would invite you to go down that rabbit hole. Learn about what this beast is, because obviously it's a major component of your life if you're listening to this right now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that was a great point. But yeah, researching into this, like, it was scratching that part of my brain where I was like, I don't know, it made me severely interested in like all this electrical engineering and like I don't know, just from what things were to what they are now. It is magic.
dude,
Yeah.
we're so lucky to be alive
It-
man,
it's magic
at this point in time.
And
Yeah.
you know, like, you have to thank the minds that dedicated their life to this, you know, and were able to make things possible. So shout out to those guys. But yeah, it's hard to firmly grasp like an opinion. Firmly grasp it. An opinion on the internet, because I don't think anyone will truly know what it actually is, you know, in a sense of like not what it is, but what it will be in
Like
the
its
future.
magnitude,
Yeah, its magnitude
and
on it.
what it'll lead to.
So
It'll be one of those things that's very subjective.
yeah,
It's just how the user uses it.
Yeah, in terms
Yeah.
of like its meaning.
Going back to what you said though about magic, it for any normal person, think of like Call of Duty. Like when you kill someone in like search and destroy, right? You're the 1v1, you kill that last person, that last bullet you shot, instantly you sent that bullet through the internet highway to a server, then that server sent it to the Call of Duty servers, and then it instantly sent it back to that person
Mhm.
and everyone else in that lobby. If that doesn't fascinate you, then
Yeah.
there's something wrong. There's something wrong with you. You need to understand, like, that's fucking magic. That
Yeah.
it just happened like that.
Isn't that packet switching, in a sense?
That's involved. Yeah,
Okay.
that's involved. But what's,
That's more technical that I'll get into. But
we'll get into that.
Yeah.
To think about how fucking fast a Google search
Mm-hmm.
is fucking crazy. How do you index everything on the internet and present it in a way that's understandable, where you could just type dogs and I could tell you this is all the types of information you could find on
Yeah.
dogs,
Yeah.
like in what, less than a second, a fraction of a second. I think that's what's so crazy is, and that's where I like, it almost gives me chills to think about the people who figure this out. Like, that is a level of intelligence that is just nothing short than amazing to me. Like, holy fuck, how do you come up with this without having anything like this?
Yeah.
You know, it's just fucking amazing. It's so amazing.
definitely.
I love being human sometimes, man. I really fucking love it.
But yeah, I think that'd be a good send off for the episode.
Sounds good.
Just so people can digest that, and it'd be like a couple weeks until my episode again, so they could really digest it. But yeah, that's
Hell
it.
yeah, brother.
Yeah.
But all right,
Let's go get some food.
thank you for tuning in. I think this was a great episode. Good experimentation and a good conversation. Appreciate anyone that listens. I appreciate anyone that takes this information and digests it. But also, we're not experts, Like, at the end of the day, this is just our opinion. This is just what we think about things. It's not fact, but I think what we'll do here is try to make you see things differently, right? Hopefully. But anyways, signing off. Good night, America. God bless your mother. And we'll see you night on the internet. On the internet, hopefully. Goodbye.
I think you're next, right? You're next.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you, Andy. I think we're getting to the point where we're sharing facts, bro.
Oh, yeah.
We're sharing fucking facts. This isn't just us sharing our like crazy thoughts.
Yeah.
This is us
Yeah.
sharing real shit.
That side of me is more like a Wall
Covering the bases, or
Yeah, like Wall Street Bets. I don't know if you guys been on that, but like they'll give their DDs for like stocks, but at the end, I'm not a financial advisor.
Yeah, to
so they
protect
don't-
yourself.
Yeah, but yeah,
Just get educated, man. Like you think you'll know everything there's out there, but man, you haven't scratched the surface. I guarantee you. Fucking you. So go and learn something. That being said, once in, always in. Thank you for joining the circle, motherfuckers.
Yeah, go learn something, you lazy bitch. I don't know what we're going to talk about next week. But hopefully it's good. Because I'm leading the charge on that bitch. I
Got some
appreciate
momentum.
you. I appreciate you. I appreciate both of you. I hope you both know that. I love you.
fuck you too, man.
Remember, only you can prevent forest fires. Don't let the man get you down. And like always, we will see you on the next one. Goodbye. See ya.
Dude, last week's clip, definitely the best clip, man.